What's my internet's a little wonky this morning, so fucking bear with me. It's storming like a motherfucker. But I did want to talk about something that I just seen over. I know. It's talking, not talking shit. I just thought it was very funny that Carl had to throw into Levels chat that the last 3 harvests he did equaled 55 pounds. The last 3 harvests. So that's 6 months, right? 2 months each. So, I mean, let's do the math for a second. 55 pounds. So if you only sold ounces for $100 a piece, I mean, that's like $1,600 a pound. I mean, like, so we're talking over $55,000, right? Where's that money? $55,000, he could buy another $12,000 house there in the ghetto and fill the whole house, right? Like, oh, oh, oh. Or is it Carl actually works for somebody else? Carl doesn't see that money. Do the math. 55 pounds. That ends up being 18.33333 pounds per run. That ends up being 2.33 or 2.3 pounds per plant. I mean, do the math. Do the math. Just off of what he said, where's all this money? I mean, that's $110,000 a year, right? Going off of his numbers. And that's only at $100 an ounce. If you're only getting $100 an ounce, you're over $110,000, like close to $120,000 a year growing wheat. That's Carl's claim. I mean, I don't know what he sells it for, but I mean, smalls usually only sell for like $100 an ounce. I mean, it's not that much. Oh yeah, it's definitely safe here. But can somebody explain to me how this all works? Is my math wrong? I mean, because $100 an ounce, $1,600 a pound times 55 pounds. I mean, that's over $55,000. Most of the time, the guy can't fucking have a good headset. So I don't know. It's bullshit. All fucking bullshit. And people that choose to believe that, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. That's fucking crazy. I asked, and over there, of course, they blocked me. I was just, curious. Like, I mean, I don't know if they do they not do the math before they spit out numbers? Because somebody's going to do the math and they're going to be like, bullshit. The guy makes over $55,000 every 6 months off growing weed, and his biggest excitement in the world is rebuilding a mini bike. I call bullshit. That's what happens when you're working for somebody else. Oh, what up? Come on, Gromies. Isn't anybody going to hit the link and show me your grows? So you can give me some fucking crazy number that's not accurate? Come on. Come on. I want to see these. Come on. It's Sunday. Yeah, I smell shit. Bullshit is what I smell. But that's why Carl hangs where he hangs, because nobody will say anything. I mean, whether they believe it or not, they just won't say nothing. They'll be like, oh my God, Carl's here. Oh my God, Carl's here. Oh my God. He totally lies to us about all of his numbers, but he's here. I'm so fed up with that bullshit. That fucking just straight lying. Shit's funny to me. I mean, Levels is like, oh yeah, temple balls. Everybody knows how to make temple balls. All you gotta do is take all the fucking sticky stuff off your gloves, roll it together, and put it away for a while. That's not how you make a fucking temple ball. Temple balls aren't made out of your fucking finger hash and your scissor hash. I mean, get the fuck out of here, Levels. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. If you're making your temple balls out of your finger hash that has fucking little fucking hairs and everything else that's stuck to it, you're a fucking moron. You're a fucking moron. Temple balls out of your finger hash. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, Jesus Christ. These motherfuckers. I'm sorry about the cheese and rice, but god dang. These guys are just annoying as fuck. Like, are you kidding me? Everybody knows how to do that. And he starts explaining, you don't know how to do it. And he starts, oh, you take your finger head and you roll it up like, well, actually, I really don't know how to do it. You should ask somebody who knows how to do it. Well, wait a minute. You just said everybody knows how to do it and everybody can do it. So what the fuck is it? Everybody knows how to do it, or ask somebody who knows how to do it. That's the fucking point. They're supposedly over there to teach you and give you the best grow knowledge, but they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah. 55 pounds from the last three grows. So that's, we'll say 6 months, 2 months each run, 55. And if you sell it minimum $100 an ounce, $1,600 a pound, do the math. That's over $55,000. That's like probably closer to $60,000. So in 6 months, well, there's 6 months in a year. That's $120,000 a year. And you talking about all hyped up about building fucking mini bikes. Get the fuck out of here. One or two things. He's completely full of fucking shit, which I know he is. Or he works for somebody else and he doesn't see any of that fucking money. He gets the money to live on. And that's it. Because I don't know about you, but if I was making, 60 grand every 6 months, 120 grand a year, I still wouldn't be living in the same house in the fucking ghetto of Detroit. I'd have got me a nicer spot with a little bit taller ceiling. Maybe where I could run 2 rooms and I could double up. Or you're just full of fucking shit. You know? Full of shit. And like, it's sad that there's a community out here that feeds into this bullshit and is okay with just letting it be fucking bullshit. I mean, like, how are you ever going to teach a new grower when you're giving them numbers like that? I mean, 55 pounds of weed, fucking 500 pounds of fucking sticks. Like, and if you are making that amount, you know what? You could do it so much more efficiently that realistically you could be almost doubling up. Well, I mean, let's be honest. Let's just be honest for a minute. When you go to show off a bud on the internet, aren't you going to show the best bud that you can be like, oh, that's the one? And you're going to fucking make sure it looks the best. And that's the one you're going to show, right? Well, the ones Carl show are so fucking small, those are considered smalls at the dispensary. It doesn't really matter. They're not A's because they're all the same size. They all look, it's all B's. You're going to get $100 an ounce. Some places you're probably only going to get the $30 to $50 an ounce. But I mean, I gave them conservatively $100 an ounce, $1,600 a pound. Do the math, 55 pounds. How much money is that? And where is that money? So you're telling me you're making 120 grand a year, but you haven't done nothing to any of your grow rooms to try to improve it. You can't tell me you can't have another fucking meter box ran and put more power into the house so you can run that other room too. So you can run two rooms. Like, get the fuck out of here. He's full of shit. He's a fucking liar. It's just that shit irritates me because again, it's another one of those liars on YouTube claiming numbers that are unattainable to fucking new growers. You got these new growers buying all this equipment, buying all this shit, thinking they're gonna do all this shit, thinking that growing fucking, you know, 5, 6 foot tall plants indoors is all okay. And then when they realize this guy's full of shit, because I'm telling you, he's full of shit. Don't fall into the trap. Don't fall into the trap. It's ridiculous. It just irritates the fuck out of me because again, these guys, that's the community that everybody wants to go to learn. The community that's going to just straight lie to your face. The guy that tells you that the grocery store didn't have the shit that he needed to control his heat so that way he could control his stretch. Hey, dumbass. Controlling the stretch is grower talent. There's not nothing at the store that you can buy for that. Walmart doesn't sell grower talent. And since you don't fucking have a clue on that, I have to assume you really don't have no grower talent. Telling people that you didn't have the shit, the grocery store didn't have what I needed, so the temps got warm and I couldn't control the stretch. I get 55 pounds the last 3 harvests. Those are fucking, that shit is made up bullshit that he tells you. Those are fucking, that shit's dumb. Don't believe that bullshit. I'm just warning you right now. Don't be like me and get trapped listening to these fucking fools on YouTube telling you shit that's not necessary. Not necessary at all. It's not. I could show you how to take a fucking closet and bang a pound, 13 to 16 ounces out of that motherfucker every 70 days. And that's vegging where you flower. I see outdoor grows that ain't pulling fucking 55 pounds. And he's claiming to do it in 6 months. Get the fuck out of here. Like, dude. Yeah, 10 pounds out of it. Yeah, that's like about the numbers he would give you in a 2x4. Like, and I know I must be jealous, right, Carl? I'm just jealous because I can't grow that much in my fucking trailer, right? That's what you're gonna call it. Yeah, yeah. On my fucking trailer. I'll tell you right now, if I was making 120 grand a year, I wouldn't be living in a fucking shit box in the fucking ghetto of Detroit. I wouldn't be happy about fucking rebuilding a mini bike with a fucking Harbor Freight motor. That's not $120,000 a year, guy. Just saying. Yeah, I'm trailer trash and I love it. I'll take my trailer in the fucking woods over a fucking ghetto house any day. Any day. Oh, you see the buds Carl fucking trims. And I'm just being real on this. On a real note, the buds he trims, I'm not trying to fucking bust his balls right now, but realistically, he shows you the little teeny buds that he trims. That's what all of his buds look like. And if you know anything about bud, all those little smalls are a lot cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. That's why I gave him $100 an ounce. I think is fair. And I mean, he's in Detroit, so everybody heard from Channel 2 how much fucking weed goes for. It's fucking dirt cheap. So I'm giving him quality, and I'm giving him, he's got great buds. So I'm giving him 100 an ounce. Where's that money? Do I want to get in his pockets? Fuck no. But when you spout out fucking ridiculous numbers, and I start doing the math because I like math. I mean, math is kind of like science. When it's fucking documented, it's in paper, right in front of you. There's no, it's really hard to dispute the numbers. I mean, unless you're doing some Cuban math or fucking Common Core math or whatever fucking math. I don't know. But yeah, no doo doo in my trailer. Only when I take a doo doo. But it goes out through a pipe and goes to a septic line. It's kind of weird, but yeah, it doesn't stay in the trailer. But good God, guys. Like, just use a little bit of common sense out here. Any new growers out there watching, please just use a little common sense. These guys are giving you ridiculous numbers. Just like fucking ridiculous. You know, that's the same show that the host will tell you he harvested a certain amount, but he will show two of the same pictures to equal that weight. And that's the same group of people that don't say a word about it. They just let it fly. So is that the community that'll lie to you straight to your face and show you a lie? Is that the community you really want to learn from? I mean, you pick your poison. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, these, I don't know. It's just, it irritates me. I try to be nice, trying to be nice, trying to be nice, trying to be more positive. But again, that's a fucking trigger point for me. It's a big trigger point because I was one of the ones that was caught up in bullshit when I first started growing. And so I wasted a lot of years fucking thinking, oh, the YouTube guys, hey, this is where you learn to grow. Look, all of our plants look the same. Huh, huh, huh. I must be doing something right. Looks the same as everybody else's. Not realizing everybody was fucking a plant killer. not realizing that these numbers and these false claims that they're giving me is all bullshit. It's bullshit. I mean, it's bullshit, you know. Yeah, just be, I mean, just look. When you claim, like when somebody claims a new grower, they finally, are doing decent there, and but you start claiming numbers that you aren't pulling. Like, look, back in the day, it was a big deal to pull a pound. It was like, fuck, part of the pound club. Hell yeah. A pound in a single harvest. Fuck yeah. Yeah. I did it. So when you claim that you got a pound, when you really didn't get a pound, when you do hit that pound, there's no celebrating. All those good feelings that finally you did hit a pound for real, you don't get to do shit with that. You get to sit with yourself and be happy with yourself because you can't celebrate with everybody like you really should celebrate because you already claimed you hit the pound. So now your really good accomplishment, you don't get to celebrate it because you lied already. I mean, I don't know. Mm. Yeah, you're absolutely cheating yourself. That's all you're gonna do is cheat yourself. You know? Oh, what's that? I don't know. I mean, if that's what you really want, I mean, it's like that's the definition of faking it till you make it. And in some instances that's okay, but not when you're fluffing your numbers, not when you're telling people, come over here, we got the best growing knowledge out here, blah blah blah. But then I can listen to you and you're full of shit. Good growers get blocked from over there. Why? Because Levels doesn't want you to take away from his shine. Like he doesn't want good growers to be like, hey, you really don't need to do that. Look, I can be as nice as possible. But he doesn't want me going over there spitting true knowledge because it makes him look like he's fucking more retarded than what he already is. And therefore, why would anybody listen to him when there's actually people that speak truth? So he'll block you out as soon as he can. He'll get rid of you as soon as he can. If you're blocking people trying to share real growth knowledge, then what the fuck are you doing over there? Because you're not giving true knowledge. You're getting rid of everybody that fucking has the true knowledge. The people that have been growing fucking eons. You know, I mean, Carl's been fucking growing how many years? 20 years, he said? Like 10 years in fucking living soil? Do the math. How much money is that? $120,000 a year times how many years? And you're still living in a fucking hood house in the ghetto of Detroit? Bullshit. Bullshit. You're full of shit. I don't. I mean, it's bullshit numbers. I know fucking all that. all the fucking people that really want to learn probably ain't here because they're too worried about getting their feelings hurt. But look, I can give a fuck about your feelings. We didn't come on YouTube to make our feelings feel better. Most of the people that are in this community came to fucking YouTube to learn to grow real plants, learn to grow good plants, learn to grow good smoke. And you know what? You can do all of that. You can do it super efficient, and you don't have to buy all this equipment that they're trying to make you buy. You don't have to do it. You don't. You just don't, you know. And I know I came on here fucking just hot, ranting and raving. It's because that shit just irritates the fuck out of me. You know, and then when I ask the questions over in the chat, I just get blocked out because, you know, hey, we can't shed light to fucking someone being a liar, especially fucking Carl, because, you know, Carl's never done that before in the past. He's never told you a day, and then we all found out it was actually double that time. Right, right. The same guy that told everybody, oh, it's only a 21-day veg, and come to find out he's vegging the whole time he flowers. So therefore, if you claim 61 or you claim 21 days and it was really 61 days, so everything else you tell me, I've got to at least believe it's only half truth. So if you tell me you get 2 pounds of plant, okay, so you get 1 pound of plant. I can only believe half of the number you tell me because we've already caught you in that lie. And it was a lie. You can say whatever you want. It was a fucking lie. You go, oh yeah, look guys, 21 days. And you'd show fucking plants. You didn't tell people that you're leaving them in solo cups for 30 days. You didn't tell people you were vegging the whole time you flowered. I mean, we all caught you in a fucking lie already. So how can I believe your numbers that you give on the flowering room when you can't be fucking honest with the numbers you give in the bedroom? Oh, and Carl, where's your super buff cherries? You showed the clone once, and then it disappeared. Where'd it go? Come on. Mhm. Again, I'm going to break this down a little bit. LED lights indoors can only do so much. They can only penetrate so far. That's just how they're made. And you know that? How do you know that? Because they give you a fucking chart. And there's a lot of videos out there for most every light out there that did the fucking tests. If the light only gives you good enough usable PPFD to go 18 to 2 foot into the canopy, I don't care if you strip the fucking all the leaves off or not. That's all you're gonna get. So you only end up with a max of a 2 foot canopy. If your 2 foot canopy only has B-size fingernail buds, tell me how you're getting 2 pounds of plant. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Yep, I had CFL in the very beginning of my grow days. Yep. Yeah, a fluorescence. Yeah, yeah. I do my clones in my beds under fucking Walmart. $20 Walmart fucking shop light, LED shop light, 50 watts. I mean, I mean, right off the bat, levels. It's like, yeah, you need like 4 pieces of equipment. You gotta have an AC, you gotta have a humidifier, you gotta have a dehumidifier, you gotta have a heater. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. In some places, you might need a little more equipment to keep things in the range, but you don't need to buy that shit right off the bat to start growing. It's not. It's not true. It's not true. I mean, ugh. Yeah, $5,000 to grow it. Yeah, that. Ugh. Like, look, if you buy a tent setup and you can't fucking make your money back, like in value wise of weed, I'm not saying go sell the weed, but I'm saying value wise. Like, if a fucking street price for an ounce of weed is $200, do the math on that. If you can't take that and grow enough weed that first run, if you bought so much equipment for your tent that you can't get the money back off of your first grow in that tent, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Ugh, it's just crazy to me. It's fucking crazy. Light is yield, right? So light's going to be your most important piece of equipment. I don't care if you're in a tent, you're in a room. I don't care what you're doing. Your light for your space is going to be the most important thing. You don't need to go buy AC Infinity clip-on fucking oscillating fans because my Walmart $12 clip-on fans, I see them lasting longer than these fucking. Oh shit, my shit stopped fucking rotating. It doesn't oscillate anymore. It just sits there and click, 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 click. Yeah. Some of you seen I went and bought an 8-inch Vivor exhaust fan, 750 CFMs. I paid $75. That is half the price of an AC Infinity one. There's no controller. I don't need to fucking some special controller so I can sit there and micro fucking manage to grow. I don't need all that. You don't need all that. If you want a fancy fucking gauge that you can look at, okay, spend the money, get you. Do you need that to grow? Does that fucking controller outside of the tent that looks all fancy sitting there helping your plants grow anymore? No, no, you do not need all that stuff. You don't. I just, ugh, it just seems crazy to me. Like, fuck. I'm just so tired of the fucking the bullshit numbers. I mean, like, holy fuck. Nobody cares. If it's about everybody getting better, then you need to give your real numbers or you're never going to get better. All you're going to do is get better at lying about your numbers. Because now this guy says this number and you've got to be better than this guy, so you got to fluff your numbers a little bit more. So like, why? Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. Look, if you say you got a 4x14 and you're still learning and shit, and you only pull a pound, or say you only pull 13 ounces, I'm going to say, oh, good job. I mean, you can do better. I mean, like, good job. But if you look at me and I look at you and you tell me, oh, there's 2 pounds, and I know there's not even a pound, I'm going to roast your fucking ass because you're lying. Don't lie. There's no reason to lie. There's no reason to lie. You know, like the only way you're going to get better is if you give real numbers so people can help you get better. If you're on here just to make friends, there's other communities. And again, if you're on here to make friends, you're not going to make friends by lying to them out to that. I mean, like, it's not how you make friends. Yeah, have a good day, Cap. You need to start the fucking trend. Give the real numbers. That's the only way you're going to get better. It's the only way. I mean, now, do you have to explain things a little differently depending on where you're at? Like who's live you're at and things? Sure. Like last night, I was at Welcome to the Grow Chat. I've got to remember when I type in chat answering questions to these people, that show and that channel is only based on brand new growers. So by knowing that, I can't give out information in there that's going to be for an advanced grower because all I'm doing is fucking up his show and his people, what he's trying to do. And I'm, like, I have to catch myself with that because, those people aren't there yet. They're not all of them are there yet. They're there to learn. And if I start trying to talk about fucking, like we were talking about sea green. And so, welcome to the grow tent always says 2 weeks, veg. He gives the new grower 2 weeks because he figures it might take him a little extra week. I told him I'd do it in 7 days. And he said, yeah, good growers are going to do it in 7 days. But newer growers, I say 2 weeks just because they're going to probably need that little extra week. And that's true. That's absolutely true. Yeah, yeah. I could cut an apple tree down and go, look at how big this fucking tree is. That doesn't mean shit of what amount of apples I'm going to pull off it. Like, who cares? Like, I mean, what are you fucking? You gonna take the fucking wood and the stalks and the stems and all that and make toilet paper? Like, who gives a fuck? No, you're gonna throw it outside in the pile behind your house. No, like, who cares? Like, let's give out real numbers. Like the conservative for new growers, you tell them 8 ounces in a 2x4. Because why do you do that? Because if you tell them 8 ounces and they get 12, 13 ounces, they're super fucking excited. They feel good about what they did. They feel accomplished. They feel like, yeah, I did more than what this guy said I was going to, it makes them feel better. But if you tell them 13 to 16 ounces and they only pull the 8, then either you're a fucking liar or they're very discouraged at what they're doing. I mean, if you get 8 ounces out of it, I mean, that's okay. I mean, that's all right. If you're only getting 8 ounces, I'd like to see you do it super fast. You know, like if you're doing 8 ounces just every 2 months, just bang, you know, like boom, 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 just one right after another. Okay, you know, good job. But you can do better. You can do better. I hope GT gets the race today. It's fucking pouring down rain. It might not be raining where he's at though. So, like on this church Sunday, all I'm going to say is, please start giving out real numbers, start giving out real information. Let's all really start learning to grow. Let's not. There's no reason that fucking to fluff your numbers to try to make yourself better than what you are, because in the long run, that's only going to hurt you. It really will. You know, it really will. And I'm sorry if I'm making 120 grand on the fucking just growing fucking weed. I ain't got time for YouTube no more, my babies. I ain't got time. I'm too busy out fucking doing other shit. I'm out there fucking taking that money and making real money, right? Like you take dirty money and you make clean money. $120 grand a year, I'd be buying all the houses on in the ghetto. Yeah, Southern Swazi, or whatever the fuck that says. Yeah, all the good growers go, but they can't talk because they're all blocked. But they watch and laugh. Like, look, I was even trying to be nice to them. Like, look, I would love to talk about plants with those guys. I'd love to, but the problem is, like I already said, if you start spitting out real knowledge and real numbers, you're going to get blocked because now you're taking away from his show and his bullshit knowledge. Like, this is the place where you're going to learn anything. Someone asks the question and he's like, well, what I've seen people do, and like if you haven't done it personally yourself and you don't have the experience, pass the person on to the person that does have experience. Don't just spout shit that somebody said. Don't just spout something that you read. Like, look, if somebody asked me about growing indoors with high pressure sodium lights, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, well, you should go find Lone Billing because he grew for years indoors, fucking knocked it out of the park with HPS. Go talk to him because I can't tell you about that because I don't do that. Hydro. Somebody says, hey, I want to do hydro, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to say, hey, go over to New York John, indoor promised land. That guy knocks it out of the park with hydro. He can probably help you with that. I'm not going to spit a bunch of shit that I don't know. Like, I don't have experience in it. I can tell you what I've read, but just because I read it in a book doesn't mean it's fucking true. Just because I search it on Google doesn't mean it's true. You want to talk to the guy that has the actual fucking experience doing it. Don't try to explain something to me that you've never done before. You're just trying to fucking explain it to how you remember how you read it. Like, that doesn't help me out any. You know, that's true community. True community is going to be like, hey, I don't know. Go talk to this guy. I don't know. Go talk to this guy. I don't do it that way. You should talk to this guy. Everybody talks about there's thousands of ways to grow a plant, but how does everyone know all those 1,000 ways to grow a plant? They don't. They don't. Because when you find what works for you and works for your fucking, call it what you want, your environment, your space, your fucking house, your trade, wherever it is, once you find what works and just knocks it out of the park every time, you're going to get really good at that. And you're going to stick to that. Because why would you change it up? So therefore, there's a lot of people in different categories of growing that could really teach you shit, but not one person is going to teach you everything because they don't do it all. There's my baby. He's muted. What's up, buddy?
I just seen your watched one of your videos when you were up in the tent. I jumped back from the screen. I thought one of them buds was going to get me. That's the that's your genetics, is it not?
Yeah. Well, I made those seeds. Yeah.
You made them seeds and tested them yourself?
Yeah. So I took a strain. I took a strain that a pheno was found out of it, and I sent the pheno to multiple people. Multiple people have grown it out. There was no issues with it. So I really love it. So I decided to make some feminized beans. So I made super puff cherries S2s. And that's what's growing in my tent. Did I give any of those beans out to anybody? No, because honestly, I'm kind of greedy. But I didn't get a lot of seeds. And so they're just for me. You know, like I'm not going to, you know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I really like the strain. I figured I want to make some seed in case something happens and I lose it.
Yeah.
And so
and now you've got them because they're both. I mean, I can't tell the difference.
No, they look and smell identical. But that's what's cool about working with super stable strains. And that's where testers come in. Look, if I was to do testers, I would find a group of people that I know can grow really well. And those would be my testers. I'd have maybe a handful. I wouldn't give it out to everybody because there's too many shitty growers that are going to fuck it up and then blame you. Yeah. And the shitty growers will give you a bad reputation because there's a lot of them.
There sure is. Oh, now you've, I guess that's because you've worked with an actual pheno that's been selected carefully rather than just like crossing any old shit.
Yeah. I want to find, I would never cross stuff unless I know for sure it's it's stable. You know, like if any, yeah, I don't.
And that's with making what is that? An S1, an F1?
Well, if you're only doing like if you're mixing a male to a female, it's just an F1. Yeah, but if you're using colloidal silver or STS or the gibberella, you know, hormone or whatnot, then usually you're making S1s, which are feminized.
Yeah.
And I know
We've been
people
using
go,
that.
"Oh, I'm never doing feminized again." But look, you guys, God damn it, you got to remember, like when you grow regulars, you're looking for males to pull males out because you don't want males. When you're growing feminized, you're looking for herms because you don't want herms. You're gonna pull out. Once you grow that strain a few times, you realize, hey, this fucking stable strain. There's no herms. You don't have to fucking watch it as much. But
Well, tell me
in the beginning, you sure do.
them S1s. Well, when you buy them, pop seeds, how often do you get a herm using your reputable breeders?
Oh, if I'm doing, if I'm doing a pheno hunt, like if I'm trying to find a pheno of a certain strain, you got to run the whole pack. You got to run it all.
No, I mean, when you pop a bean, how often is it you'll get a herm?
Oh shit! I've had one herm in the last 5 years,
Yeah. And you probably popped
and that's
all
growing.
kinds of stuff.
That's growing. Look, that's growing cabbage genetics, growing copycat.
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit.
Genetics. I've had one herm from copycat. That's it. In like 5 years. It's been between that.
Well, let me ask you this then. How many have you had in the last couple of years?
In the last couple of years, 0.
Yeah. Well, you've been running clones mostly, haven't you, anyway?
Well, that's what you should do. I mean, you find stuff you like, you keep it, you clone it, and you run with it. You know, you don't get rid of something until you find something that's better than whatever. You know, if you got 3 strains that you really like, and then you find something else that you really like, and you only have room to keep 3 strains, you get rid of the worst one out of that. You keep the fucking.
Yeah, thinning the herd. Hey, Chop, do you mind if I ask you a question there? How much does cannabis go for out in, say, Detroit, Michigan area? What are we paying? How much am I paying?
Well, I don't know. I heard Channel 2 was getting ounces for $30.
30. Well, what about if I had some bleached buds grown in the perfect environment? What's the maximum?
Well,
Come on now.
anybody that knows what bleached buds are not going to buy it.
1053.
I mean, if you burnt the tops and the terps and the tops on your A quality bud to try to light up your B buds down below and your C buds, you boofed it. You boofed it.
But in my post I made last night. PKR.
I'll have to go look. You can put it up if you want.
I'm on my way to work.
Oh. No, I'll go look at
it. It just says it has a big old fucking huge bud on one side. It says PKR bud, and then the other side has Swazi bud, and it's like a finger.
Do we know the drawer?
Like no cap, no busting balls, no nothing. Have we seen anybody that has grown fucking colas after they've swazied their plants? I mean, do you see that? I mean, they gotta be out there.
It's very rare. It's out there, but very rare.
It's gotta be out there. I mean,
but what day are we swazzing on, Chop? What are we doing it just before flip and then on 21? Or are we doing it a week before?
I don't really know what they're doing. I mean, like, like I know at
I
21
think they do it just before flip, don't they? Just before flip and then day 21.
something like that.
I think it's day 1 and then day 21 or something like that.
Well, do you know if I was a plant and you stripped all my leaves off while I was in transition, that'd make me freak out.
Well, let me
I
do
wouldn't know
this.
what to do.
Let me do this. Can I take both of your lungs?
Yeah, I don't know what they'd do.
Let me just take both of your lungs and see how you feel.
Well,
Not only that, that's how the plant pulls in heat.
Yeah, that's how the plant transpires. That's how it photosynthesizes. That's how it breathes. That's how it does everything. It's the whole life is in that fucking leaf.
That's very basic of you, John. Kind Carl has been scattering.
That's not cannabis plants. That's all plants.
Cannabis is different now. You know that. We outsmart the plant.
I have seen people do tomatoes and rip all the leaves off and still get tomatoes, like huge tomatoes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, tomatoes are easy. That's why I was laughing the other day, and I said, "Hey, we should do a tomato grow off."
Yeah.
Well, like I was going to say, the kind Carl has been leaving you breadcrumbs, and none of you pick them up. But this is why I get paid a higher wage. So he did tell you that the hydro shop didn't have the stuff he needs to reduce the stress, didn't it? And you didn't take that in. Now there's a nutrient company.
Wait. Back up. What?
How dare you ask why?
You didn't hear all
the hydro store didn't have what he needed to stop the stretch.
Yeah,
Is that what I just heard?
Yeah, the hydro store didn't have the stuff he needed to control the temperatures for the swings, so he got out of control stretch.
Now then, that is a part of the nutrient line that the swazzing company did.
Here's
so
what I
the
want to
swazzing nutrients. The swazzing nutrients.
They do
an early bloom.
The grow store was out of grower talent that day.
Right? Yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want somebody to go to their local hydro shop and go in and ask them what can I get to stop the stretch, man? I honestly want to hear what the fuck they say to you.
Oh yeah, because
they'll either go, yes, sir, come this way. I've got a number of products that will help you.
That's exactly right too.
They're gonna sell you something, guaranteed.
100%, maybe fucking 10 things.
I don't even think it goes down like that. I think he goes in there and teaches them and tells them what he needs in stock. And they stock it for him. And he's the only fucker that's buying it.
Can we recap all the bullshit we've heard from Carl? Can we recap it? Because I remember also hearing he got HLVD AIDS virus from the tissue culture guy.
Yeah.
I heard he got fungus gnat. Fungus gnat.
There's Perpinator, isn't there, for the plant if they've got the VD. What's he thinking about?
He's also gotten gnats from the tissue culture guy. Yeah. He's told us how he only vegged for 21 days, and finally the truth came out that he actually veggies for the whole time he flowers, which is usually over 60 days. Well, he tells you he gets 2 to 3 pounds of plant. He tells you all this crazy shit, right? 55 pounds in the last 3 harvests. So what anything he's told you, what is true?
Hey, not one of those things true you just said.
Oh yeah, I have a screenshot. I had to screenshot it because I have to go back and look at it myself because it's just unfathomable Yeah, this morning in Levels chat, he said the last 3 harvests he's done, he's gotten 55 pounds. Okay, so that's what I was saying earlier. So say you only get $100 an ounce. That's like over $55,000 in 6 months. Where's that money?
Pay electric bill.
He built a mini bike?
It's the electric bill. Do you realise how much it costs to run 8 lights and AC and all that shit?
Or he's actually working for someone else.
Oh, I mean, you have said that from day one, Chop, but I'm not even going to bring that up. Oh, I brought it up. You said that all along, didn't you?
Yeah, I believe he's working for somebody else. But I don't believe the numbers still. I don't think he pulled 55 pounds the last 3 harvests.
Well, just say, let's say, for instance, he is pulling his 18 pounds a run like he says he is. How do you think this one's going to go with such enormous stretch and gaping 2-foot square holes in the canopy?
Well, that's it. I know how to grow. And when you take a fucking tall plant, you put it into flower and you bend it all over. Now half the plant is gone because there's nothing in the middle. There's a giant fucking, it's not even a glory hole anymore. It's like a black hole of fucking
The
nothing.
vortex.
Like, how are you pulling 2 pounds of 2 to 3 pounds of plant when there's no middle of the plant?
But Joel, what concerns me most is when you open your 2x4, I can't see the wall, not one tiny little bit. But then when I look across Carl's 10-foot room, I can see the post, I can see the AC unit on the wall. Why, how is he pulling more per square foot than you, my dear friend?
He's not.
I don't believe it to be true.
No.
He's 100% not.
He's not. Yeah, that's just unfortunate. I mean, and that's the shit that pisses me off. It's like, I don't even care how much Carl pulls. I don't have to smoke it. I don't have to trim it. I don't have to buy it. I don't have to do any of that. So I don't care about the numbers you pull. I'm going to work with you and be more casual with you if you give me the real number and you're boofing it than I would when you tell me fucking bullshit numbers. Because it doesn't help anybody.
Have you noticed that he manages to pull pretty much more than anyone else consecutively?
Yeah, he pulls more than anybody else. Even the people that are outdoors, he's trying to claim. Most people outdoors isn't pulling that amount. So,
well, hey, they know what a 2 pound plant looks like, don't they? A 2 pound tree. These outdoor folks.
Yeah. And they're not what Carl's are.
Well, have you ever bent yours over?
Like, it was the truth is right here. Look, do you remember when we were all talking to Moonwater and he told us flat out he thinks he'll get 2 to 3 pounds of plant off those fucking ginormous plants he had outside?
The first ones he did, yeah.
Those were real numbers, okay?
Yeah,
I could be like, okay. But do you think those plants are like 2 to 3 times the size of Carl's plants? But Carl's pulling the same amount.
Now them plants weigh 4 to 5 pounds, don't they? It's just how it goes. They'll weigh 4 to 5 this run. It's generally about 60%.
And Moonwater said, he's like, yeah, I think Carl's pulling the same. And it's like, dude, your plants are fucking already way bigger than Carl's. How do you think they're going to pull the same amount of weight? The buds are bigger than Carl's. I mean, everything is bigger. Everything is more. And if you're only getting 3 pounds of plant,
the only thing I'm going to say with Carl's is that his are going to be much denser. But that's his only thing. That's it.
Yeah, but they're
small. They're tiny.
Is the weight really in the vegetable matter, or is it in the trichomes? In it, you know. And if you've got them dead solid tight buds, I've had them. They're dense, yeah, but there isn't the weight he's saying. Even if they are super dense, I don't see it.
Well, no, because it takes a lot of those little buds. Even dense as shit, it takes a lot.
Yeah, I've had them that go that dense naturally. That are like
they would have to be fucking 3 times the size and the same density to equal the weight he's talking.
Yeah, now if he had even if he had the 4 6-inch floppers, but they were the size of Coke cans, I'd be like, okay, I would believe
Maybe.
it more. Yeah, because those fucking Coke can, even a 4-inch Coke can at the top, dry is going to be 5 to 7 grams.
Yeah,
So
4 max.
if you have a full fucking 20-foot room full of that, okay, that's easier to believe.
Yeah, but then you need a cola in every hole, and there's about 23 that hasn't got anything in.
And that's the thing, right? When I know that the center of his plant, there's nothing in it because he didn't train it and bend it over until he put it into flower. So half the plant is gone. And like I said earlier, I'm sorry, Carl, but you already told us 21 days in your veg ended up being over 60. So I have to automatically assume whatever number you give me in flower, it's really only half of that.
Yeah, 60%. Like that's the average. I'll work it out by watching them. They'll give you 60%. They'll get 60% of what they say they've got, just over half. At levels, he's the master of pulling a pound, and he never gets more than 10 zips in that tent. Never.
I mean, you can easily pull 2 pounds off a 2x4 light, but when I look at the plant, I know if it's a 2-pound plant or not. You can't have a hole. You can't have a huge hole in the middle of the plant and get 2 pounds off it. It just ain't gonna happen.
Well, somebody
not indoors with the LED lights we use. It's not. It's just
somebody told me about this. I don't know how true it is, but those lights that Carl's using are 600s.
Only 600 watts, right?
Yeah, he's got 6,700 watts though.
Are we using CO2 with 600 watt lights? Yeah, but wouldn't you want nice big thousands over them to utilize the CO2? Why are we running just normal?
He's got 6,700 watts in there apparently.
Well, I mean, I'm not doing the math, but if people are telling me that they're 600s, I'm going to listen to the person that knows the lights that they're talking about, and they do.
Yeah, no, I'm just going off of what he said, how much watt.
Well, we know Carl probably take 40% off it. I don't know. But anyway, if you're going to be using CO2, why would you be bothering using something that not an overpower light? That just seems because they're not end to end. So that 4-foot tent light is really doing 4.5, 5.
Explain this to me. How are you going to add more added CO2 to a room that has no fucking leaves that you stripped all the leaves off of?
But then you save CO2. You save CO2 because the plant can't eat the CO2.
No, you're just wasting CO2.
Yeah, so you're just wasting it.
Well, we're paying for a sealed room.
Well, first of all, the CO2 is not doing what it's supposed to do because it doesn't have the leaves to do what it needs to do.
Right.
Boy, it sounds like they don't have the light power to take advantage of the CO2 as well.
I mean, you can raise the CO2 all you want. If you don't have the light and food to go with it,
yeah, you're not going
to. That's pointless.
Yeah, so if you're lighting a 4.5 or even 5 foot square area with 600 watts of bar light, are you going to be able to get enough intensity to utilize the CO2? And also, how are his buds so very bleached?
Well, I mean, it's.
What would be the point? What would be the point of pumping a guy full of steroids so he can lift a lot of weights, but the guy's in a fucking wheelchair?
Well, this guy in the wheelchair might get the hand jobs in YouTube channels.
Well, I can tell you this. My room was a 6x8. I had 1,520 watts in there with CO2. And yes, it worked with the CO2, but I didn't have enough light. They wanted fucking more.
Yeah. They
You want
always
in
want more.
1,000 waters, mate, if you're doing that kind of deal. You don't want like the stuff we're doing in tents. You want, you're upping everything, aren't you?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, I still had to up everything, but it wasn't enough for the plants.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, you
wanted
get
more
to
because I'm giving them so much.
yeah.
How is Carl, our cocoa warrior, managing to bleach so many buds with such little light and such high CO2? You would think a nice, healthy plant would gobble all that light up on
Do you
CO2.
see how close he puts them to the plants? They're
Oh, you
sitting on
think
top
it'd
of
gobble
it
it
because
all?
he's trying to light the bottom and ruining the fucking best part of the plant.
But we see our close friends growing with lights that close with no problems at all, and they don't have CO2.
Sometimes he has an imbalance, dude. It's an imbalance
Well, this is a
between the
20-year.
three.
It's been growing 20 years. Okay.
Oh, yeah, well, Seymour's been growing 35, so.
Well, I think from the 10 years he did living soil for, and the 5 years he did hydro, makes me wonder how long he's been growing in the old cocoa for. Probably 2
And
decades.
he's been in cocoa since I've known him.
Uh-huh.
I've probably known him
Yeah, that's
for
at least 4 or
7.
5 years now, yeah.
Yeah, I would
I
say
know of.
5 to 7 years anyway.
I mean, that's a lot of cocoa, my baby.
Well, and that's what I'm curious. I never hear about. Like, does he reuse the cocoa? Because that's a lot of cocoa to dump every fucking run.
Well, when you're
We've all
getting
seen the
20 pounds every run, no man, that ain't shit.
Well, see, it's not the money, remember? We're crushing it so hard. That's not the money. It's what are you going to do with it? Like, where are you going to put all that?
Well, it fits easily into small totes when you're just growing small buds. Oh, you mean the fucking cocoa? Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know. I would think your lawn would start fucking filling up too.
well, it does get to that point where it starts to fill up, and you can't just be using that cocoa and putting it in your old loved flower beds and all that business, because it'll just fuck it all right up. It's not what the a little bit mixed in's fine, but if you start dumping loads of cocoa on your plant beds and that, I didn't have
Well,
much
just don't.
success.
I mean, you can. It just won't have any nutrients to it besides what's left in it from the grow.
Yeah. So now you're feeding your outside that was like just fine. Now you're feeding your outdoor as well. Crazy, eh? That's how my little strawberry plant ended up.
Yeah, I
Just
can't
all
reuse
fucked up.
cocoa. I'm
I
in
had a
such.
mound of fucking soil out back in my house, dude. A mound.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's what
5
Coles
years
was
worth of
like, wasn't it? When KJ went, he had a little fortress built. KJ showing us everything, remember? He weren't shy showing everyone else's stuff off. Not discreet whatsoever.
Look, KJ, whatever, he called the cops on his neighbor and shit. I'd rather talk to him about growing than I would Carl.
And why? I mean, it's probably the same. But what makes you say that, John? Not
Because
me.
I feel that I can make KJ a better grower than Carl. Carl's not going to listen to nothing.
No, Carl, yeah. No, Carl, yes.
Wow. What makes you think I'd be a
I've gotten to
friend?
listen to one thing in fucking the time that I've known him. And it took him
No, you haven't.
forever
No, you
to
haven't.
fucking do that. Yeah, I have.
No, you haven't.
Okay.
And
Tell me what it was.
But
Are you going to say the nutrient thing?
He don't give credit where credit's due.
No, sorry, he did not listen. Right? If someone listens, it doesn't take them 3 years to hear it. Okay,
Well,
he just
well,
fucking worked
you
that
know what
out
I mean.
himself. And
No,
you like, oh,
he
going,
listened. He gave me credit fucking a while back about it. He's like, I finally
yeah,
listened
I
to talking about
remember.
the nutrients, but it took him for fucking 4 years to do it.
Yeah. So did he listen? He just
It's funny.
stopped you. He
It
kind
took
of
him.
cock blocked you from being able
Eventually,
to go, I told you
It
so.
took him that long to listen, but he was at the same time he was switching nutrients and shit, blaming the
yeah,
nutrients.
oh yeah.
I'm the clone guy.
Yeah, and the clone guy.
Yeah. It's always everybody else's fault but his. So.
Well,
You got work today?
Yeah, I'm ready to walk in right now.
what do you think about that young lady then, Chop, that's growing all the tomatoes under in like NFTs and big fat LED lights, lovely
I mean,
room
hey,
there.
look, if you want to do that, fucking do it. Like, it'd be like me busting on people for wanting to grow indoor wheat. I can give a fuck. If you want to grow your veggies indoors and eat fresh fucking veggies that you know where they grew and all that shit, do it. I mean,
Yeah,
veggies are cheap at the store, but I mean, if you
Well,
want to do it yourself, go for it.
yeah. I mean, you just ain't got to spend all the money that we do on fucking lights for fucking
No.
I'm just
cannabis.
proud
Like,
at you there, Chop. So very proud because you kept it about the plant. I weren't talking about the plants. I was talking about the young lady dear herself. She's very photogenic now, hypnotic, kind of all the stuff she's doing I couldn't care less about, but I still find myself watching the young lady.
Yeah, she's personable. She got a good attitude. You know, she's happy-go-lucky.
Personable.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah, very
yeah,
personable. I like that, Chops. Very diplomatic and yeah. I'd smash the shit out of a personality. That's all I'm saying. Beautiful young lady. Nice, pretty face. If she started doing weed, it's over for most female growers out there. And she actually had.
well, and she was telling
I
that
think she's a sly because she
she
has had
eventually
cannabis folk on there, hasn't she?
she eventually wants to grow weed. She said that. She's just right now she's just kind of intimidated and she's trying to, learn some more things before she dives into it.
Yeah. And it's scary. You don't want to scare her and go, look,
No.
my dear, don't learn how to grow a tomato because you want to grow a completely different plant. So most of your understanding's neither here nor there. Just get some weed on, gal. You've got to nurture her, haven't you?
Yeah, kind of gotta. Some of those people you gotta be delicate.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, when she does a weed plant, she'll be able to grow the crappiest plant on this earth. And I will tell her it's so good. I'll fluff that young lady, so she keeps doing it. I see that Damp. You remember her? You remember her, Nugget?
No,
Well, Damp.
yeah, I do.
I mean, did you see how popping her channel was when all us lot were there? There was like 60, 70 in chats and that. I go by now and peek through the window, and she's not even getting teens. I feel like she should have stuck with the English.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch in a different language, isn't it? And he's just there smoking all day. She'll show her plants.
I'm not running closed captions so I can see what I'm not doing all that. I just can't.
Yeah.
I lose interest already so quick.
Oh God, that's a new technology that I've not implemented, Nuggy. Thank you very much for the update. I'd seen the closed caption technology on other channels, but it had not occurred to me to change sweet words so I can read them. But yeah,
Well, yeah, you got to be able to. you got to be able to read it because nobody on the panel will shut the fuck up long enough so you can hear it.
And also, you can't even do the chat in it. You don't know what the chat's talking about. I do hope Moonwater makes a rising today. Keeps his head out.
I didn't even plan on going live today. Fucking Carl.
Is it Carl that triggered you or Levels? Come on.
Yeah.
Let's be transparent.
No, it's Carl.
God damn it. Again.
There's something about the way he acts. Like he's such a great grower compared to everybody else. Like, oh, nobody's doing what I'm doing. Blah. You're right. Nobody's doing it because that's not the way to do it. You don't grow trees inside. The lights aren't meant to grow fucking plants like that. But whatever.
I mean, it
it's the
doesn't
numbers.
really.
I don't care. He can grow however he wants. Just be fucking honest with the numbers. You know, like, God dang it.
It doesn't really. I don't really see the difference that much in skill level between what Levels is doing and what Carl's doing.
When nobody's talking to him in chat and he just comes out with, hey, I pulled 55 pounds the last 3 harvests. Nobody asked him. Nobody was even talking to him. You threw that number out to try to act like unzipping your pants and you're fucking whipping out your dick. But guess what? The guys that have big dick are going, oh my God, put that back in your pants. Don't show nobody that. What are you doing? Like, you fucking liar.
That's 55 pounds with a 5, not a 6, right, Chop?
55 pounds and 3 harvests.
Well, that's a 10-week flower period, Chop. How long are we talking?
If that's
30?
10 weeks, and that's 30 weeks, that's like 7 months.
Woo!
And if it's a 10-week, okay, now you realize though, if it's a 10-week flower, that means the plants are vegging for 10 weeks.
Oh no. Have we just extended our veg time by accident?
If you veg while you flower.
Woo! Well, I'm pretty sure he does a 70-day.
And I'm sorry. I'm sorry, acting like those are fucking monstrous, great, best plants ever. You're growing 10 weeks, you're vegging 10 weeks in cocoa. In cocoa. If you can't get big plants in 10 weeks in cocoa, then there's something wrong with you. So what he's doing is not abnormal, but nobody's doing that because you don't grow plants that size indoors. Here, let me play you something.
I'm starting to feel even worse about it now.
And having a good team.
What do you think the number one thing people do wrong is in the grow or with plants that you've seen?
I think people waste a lot of space. You don't need a 6-foot tall plant to hit your numbers. Like the more, like I shoot for a 4-foot tall plant and I want my canopy depth a certain height. Certain strains I can get away with more canopy depth. Others I can't, depending on, leaf density and, calic ratios and everything else. But I don't think people maximize their space well. And I see a lot of people wasting time and energy and money on a plant that you could have done more with less. Like you don't need to grow a 6-foot tall plant. You just don't.
To strip the bottom 4 feet off.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's always my favorite.
It's crazy.
They say it clear as day right there. You don't need to grow 6-foot tall plants indoors.
He's probably holding a mum, taking clones at the appropriate time, which is he can do at any time. She's holding mums, and training it appropriately.
Well,
he's not growing trees, is he?
That guy is part owner of Drip Hydro. So it's a nutrient guy telling you this. You don't need to fucking grow a 6-foot tall plant so you can strip the bottom 4 feet. So if you don't believe that guy, then you can't believe the guy that's telling you to swazi your plants because that came from a nutrient company guy telling you should strip all your, as he's laughing at you, telling you they made it up to get people to buy their nutrients.
So I've just realised what's actually happening there is a guy that's selling you something to grow your plant is saying, stop buying so much and vegging it for so long. He's actually telling you to buy less of his own stuff.
Yes.
There's not many people caught that, I don't think, because I certainly didn't. That little tweet, that just shows you, tells you, doesn't it?
He's telling you to stop. He's stop using so much. You can use less and get more. He's telling you you can get your numbers without growing a 6 foot tall plant.
Yeah, and he's selling you the stuff. He's hurting his own channel.
I think he was talking to Carl
directly. I mean, did you get the whole clip? It might have said it.
Oh, I watched the whole show and I didn't say Carl, but what it continues to say is, grow a 6 foot tall plant so you can strip the bottom 4 feet and then you can throw under canopy lighting underneath it. Like, what the fuck? That's stupid.
Stupid is as stupid does. What my mama used to tell me. Have you heard anything from Chiba there, Chop? Seen him?
No.
Seen him anywhere?
Nope. Nope.
You worry
Usually
about
I
these
know.
people.
If you don't get an update from these guys, you normally know what happened.
That's why I do feel a little bit worried about the Cultivation Network guy. He's running a tent with a couple of certain breeders in. And he was on, last time we seen him, he was on about day 14. And I was thinking, oh dear, 21's coming. They're the worrying times, I find, with the hermaphrodation. And yeah, sadly, there's no update.
If anybody's looking for a decent show to go watch, and it's kind of funny, and I guess it's not really a show, but he does a weekly video, Grow Daddy TV. They grow fucking shorter plants, trained out, 2 in a 2x4. I mean, you can get the basic of basic information. If you don't like the way I tell you,
a grow boss, isn't he?
It kind of reminds me of a grow boss, yes. Like a real nice grow boss.
Yeah. I wonder if we can bring him to the dark side. If we all mount our trusty steeds and head on over there and not be complete arseholes, but steal his heart.
Oh, I've been talking to him. I got him on Instagram and shit.
Does he? Has he got restream capabilities? I think it's just his plan something in it.
I threw a doozy at him. I just said, "Hey, should you be following VPD or Dew Point?" And I just left it at that. And he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, Dew Point? That's really interesting. I'd like to talk more about
be
it."
Careful. You know, if you start to outsmart these channel runners, they really don't like that because then the heat's on them.
Hey,
we need to nurture
John,
them.
Is that the John that was over at Levels this morning? If you want some help with your grow, hit me up behind the scenes. I'll help you, brother. Like what they're telling you, like I'll be honest with you. If that's you, first thing I would do is they didn't tell you this, but they should have, is the light reflectivity off your wall and getting photons from your light to bounce off the wall and hit your plant is an important thing. So I would take all those pictures and all that stuff off the walls in there, because all that's doing is stopping your reflectivity off the wall to hit back to plant.
Well, so what's happening here then, Chop? Am I building reflective walls and putting posters on them?
if it was me, I would take that reflective thing out of there, clear that whole fucking thing out of there. You have a light that fits the whole closet. So I would fill that thing with plants. You know, I wouldn't have a shelf and I wouldn't have, you know, I mean, I would, you know, because if you have the right size light for the space, but you're not filling the space with plants, it's not the right size light. That's a good light if it's the same John.
Yeah, that's John. Ain't nobody trolling John like that.
And I'm not going to tell him to stay away from anybody.
Not anymore, anyway.
But
After
I'm
his
gonna
delivery.
give you a little more real information. Like I would
Be
definitely
kind.
clear the closet out. I would get all that shit off the wall because you want as much reflectivity as you can. And I'd put another plant in there or space those two plants. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You could have where the little shelf is in that closet. You could have another autoflower there growing. I mean,
Oh, is John doing autos?
oh, you could do whatever you want, but I mean, I think he has one auto in there already. So it's like just take the shelf out, throw another autoflower in there.
That's a sad times thing as well. Is you'll be like think, oh well, I'll do it while this fan seed is vegging out. I'll just chuck an auto in there while it's vegging.
This morning they proved the point for me exactly. When John went up there, they say they're trying to help people, they're trying to give the knowledge, they're trying to do this and that. But when John went up there and his walls are covered with posters and pictures and this and that, and he's got a little shelf in the closet, he got all this extra stuff in there taking up floor space. They didn't say none of that to him. I mean, and if you're going to help the guy, be like, man, if you really want to maximize your grow, you're going to want to get rid of that stuff out of there and add another plant, you know, because you want to fill your space, but you can't have all that extra space in there. I wouldn't have pictures and stuff like that in there because, you know, humidity and things like that are also going to be higher in that little closet. So, you know, your pictures are going to get ruined and stuff. All that shit on the wall is probably going to get fucking moisture and all that. You know, I just wouldn't have it in there. I just wouldn't do that. I would use the wall to reflect.
The only thing I use is a Levels grow room slat. I have one of those in the back of each area.
But if they really wanted to help the guy, they would have told him this stuff. And that's not bad criticism. It'd be like, hey, you should maximize your light by, you know, cleaning all that stuff out.
You know what you just said, Chop? You know what you just said, though? People are going to feel a kind of way about that, yeah? They'd much rather have someone go, well done, and keep everything happy. Because you can't really, you know how you're very blunt with the information. It's hard to find that it's not as a popular thing, is it? Your channel's not going to blow up.
Well, if you're claiming to help, no, my channel will never blow up because I actually truly try to help people. You know, I'm not going to just fluff you and not give you the real information. You know, like, and again, if I don't know the information, I'm going to refer you to the person that does know the information because I don't know.
Do any of them really know anything if they're changing things they do every run?
It's not that I really care like that, Smelly, but I'm passionate about the plant. And I want, if you're going to grow the plant, I want you to grow it the best possible way and get the best fucking smoke you can get. So you don't have to try to grow a plant and go to the dispo. I mean, because you started growing plants, so you don't have to go to the dispo. But here you are growing plants and still going to the dispo. And I'm not saying anybody in particular, but that's just how it's been. You see it.
I just worry that Chiba is so busy watering, he hasn't got time for YouTube anymore.
Well,
I want him to jump out the closet with a
if he's still
smacker.
growing in nothing but perlite, yeah, he probably just fucking lives in that room. I mean, does perlite even hold water? Like, or does it just run straight through? I feel like you have to.
Tiny bit within inside it. It's not like it absorbs any.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you see how very big those plants were, even in just cocoa. You're going to be in there every day, aren't you?
Yeah, you'd be watering a few times, like probably 3 times a day at least.
No time for YouTube.
Yeah, no time for nothing. Hope you ain't got a full-time job.
Oh, well, I mean, can you remember that time when Moonwater, didn't he commit heinous crimes against wildlife on his first run? I also worry about that.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
he was fucking leaving poison out, and the fucking ducks, where the ducks could get into it and kill ducks or something. Yeah, like fucking again, crazy. You got animals running around. You don't leave fucking poison laying out, or the animals can get to it. That shit irritates the fuck out of me too. Like fucking
I
brain,
remember
they're a bunch of brainiacs, is what they are. Bunch of smart fuckers gonna teach you something. You know. The last thing I'm learning from is the guy that leaves poison out so that so your animals can get into it and die. Like, get the fuck out of here. And if that's happening, why would you tell people that? Like, come on. I don't know. I'm not a religious person. I'm more into fucking, Mother Nature and Earth and shit like that. So when I hear you're leaving poison out just willy-nilly and fucking killing animals, you're a piece of shit.
Don't know about there, Chop.
That shit irritates the fuck out of me.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Because you can catch anything.
Well, your dogs could have got it. Fuck, whatever. Like, a little kid happened to be over visiting, playing in the backyard. Like, yeah.
What's because I'm not like, I know they have it in California and all those dope places. But what is shade cloth, Chop?
Shade cloth. It just gives you just what it says. It gives you a little shade. But I mean,
Well, what? So it's just a cloth.
I mean, shouldn't the plant be able to handle the fucking sun and everything outside? I mean, like,
I don't know.
what does it do? What does it do when it grows natural? Does somebody come out there and throw a shade cloth over it? Like, I don't understand that. I never did. Like,
DLI, mate. DLI, too advanced for us. So you'd say if I have a polytunnel with it's shade cloth over there, it's not the insulating properties. It's like non-existent then. So if you was to try and control that climate in there, is that going to work?
If I'm trying to grow the plant outside to use the free sunlight and to get all the spectrums and the great goodness of the sun, why am I throwing a shade cloth over it?
Well,
I mean,
we've got a wood stove in there.
Doesn't the shade now cut out some of the fucking? Doesn't it cut out some of the spectrum and the shit like that? So I might as well just grow inside, right? Like, if I'm gonna cut out the different spectrums and stuff from the sun from getting to my outside plant, I should just grow inside.
Well, you say you should grow inside, but I mean, think about what you're saying there and who we're talking about. That's been a bust. That's been a bust all winter. You remember the old? It was around Christmas time. The old disappearing flower room. It got to about week 5, week 6, and then it just all of a sudden turned into a veg.
Yeah, and I
You
don't
know,
know what ever happened to. I'm going to swazi one plant and not swazi the other, and see which one turns out better. Never got to
yeah.
test
Well, no,
results on that
hang
either.
on. That was the grow that we're talking about. It was the experiment one where there was a lot of swazzing going down.
Is that
And
the same one that got? Is that the same one that got stem rot indoors?
I think that was the one that he's just done that. Not the one he's doing now, because this is prepping for outdoor. But I think that was the last flower he's done in, through March or whatever. But how do you even do that inside and in, a nice cozy environment?
Listening to people like Carl telling you need to water all the time and fucking cocoa. Look, cocoa, you can water more. You can do more frequent fertigation with cocoa, but you're still going to have to figure out when you need to water. You don't just go in there and water because I'm in cocoa. I have to water every day. Not
The
necessarily.
stages. The
Not
stages.
necessarily. Like, fuck, man.
Have you just up potted? Have
You're
you given
keeping
it a
your
couple of
you're
dry
keeping
bags?
shit so wet that your fucking stems rotting indoors.
Did we see it? Did we see that? Actually see that?
Yeah,
Or is it
yeah. I
just,
think I have a picture of it.
oh, lovely. How did that look then? Was it
The
like
stem was
squidgy?
black. Like the stem was black.
You're calling the stem that?
The
Wow.
stalk, I guess, right at the base of the plant. So what do? You recover that, or do you just fucking throw it away? Nah, we'll recover it. I think I'll take a bunch of clones off it right now.
Well,
What?
I'm sure that he managed. I'm sure that there was maybe a nutrient or something from raw, or maybe just penicillin tablets grounded up. I'm sure he had a soothing remedy for it, didn't he? He knew exactly what to
Oh,
do. Silica,
I'm
maybe.
sure. I'm sure somebody on the show or in chat had some great advice to give him.
Silica, bro. Stem walls.
Or
We're
what you do,
talking
you know what
stem
you
walls.
really should do? If you ever get stem rot and it's on your stalk like that, you go right beneath the stem rot and you cut it. You just cut that fucking plant down because it's over.
I'm so disgusted by the picture that you put in my head that I want it immediately out there, not anywhere near anything that's healthy, because I'm just worried that it's just disgusting is going to spread everywhere. It's unsanitary at that point.
It almost looks like black mold.
This is what I'm saying. That it, like, whether it's rot or whatever it is, unless it's some slime, it's probably got spores or something, and then it's all over the shop, isn't it? Fuck that.
Absolutely, spores.
But
Absolutely.
I mean, maybe not, because if you're watering it at the correct frequency, it never actually dries out, does it?
No, it never dries out. And then you're just feeding more fucking bacteria.
Well, we've only got a few more weeks to harvest. We'll make it through. That reminds me of the chap that was chopping his stalk at the bottom at the pot a couple of days before harvest and leaving it just all running, lights on, just kept it. He was still within the grow, but just chopped it at the bottom like 2 days before harvest. Not seen Blaze either. Remember him? Blaze TV. Oh, John, this isn't one of those channels. There's a time and a place, my dear John.
I'm making coffee.
Go ahead. DJ Flyby, good to see you. And ADHD. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Yeah, well, good point, DOA. I completely agree with that. In a greenhouse, things can get a bit hot. And also, there would be a point of putting a wood stove in your greenhouse as it would hold the heat or whatever. But I think this guy's just got it all wrong. I think he's maybe using shade coffee, don't need. I don't know about that. But he's trying to heat up pot. Trying to control that at night with wood stoves. And we're talking about a big old tunnel. Don't know the dimensions. But I enjoy watching his stuff, no matter how it turns out. It's good to see big old babies like that. I don't really watch all the Mendo-y kind of stuff. Mendo dope and all that. I did see one where he showed at the bottom of his plant and it looked like there was a rotten corpse buried there. There's millions and just sprawling with maggots. I don't know if you guys seen that. I'm saying the video was titled something like why outdoor is disgusting or why outdoor can be disgusting or whatever. But he chucked something down there and whoo, everything took off.
Hold on, I'm making coffee.
That's all right, my baby. Oh, bloody hell.
Hey, look, I gotta have at least one day a week that I can really rant. And I think Sundays is a good day.
That you can really what?
I need to rant. Like, it's hard to go all week trying to be nice. And not having one day that you could just have a release. Like, ugh.
I don't think the place to talk about all that, what chat's talking about, makes me feel anxious in a 2x4 environment. The shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, I don't know. I just get fucking showing plants is boring.
Well, any more topics you would like to breach, Chop?
Fuck, I would really love to fucking real talk about plants, but I get just the plant killers ruin it for me. Because the more I see them say stupid shit, the more I go, fuck you all. Fuck all you. You're all fucking nuts. Then I just don't want to talk about plants.
Yeah, it's like it's a flowering cycle. I get it. I go through the same thing. You'll have intense passion to learn and share knowledge, and then you'll just completely be disgusted by it before you know it. And then it'll start again, and that's how I feel about it anyway. Comes in waves. Because you have to rage quit for a bit before you start flipping out.
Yeah.
You like Cole most of all, though.
If there's nobody to really talk about real fucking talk with plants, and there's nobody really teaching the next step of growing plants. And I mean, it just gets to the point where it's like, wow, what's the point of YouTube anymore? You know what I mean? Like, what's the fucking point? Like, I came to learn to grow weed. I was stubborn, got kicked in the nuts, finally fucking listened. Now just fucking rinse and repeat. And just, it's so fucking boring anymore. Nobody wants to be real and talk about plants and like on a real level. They want to fucking just fluff you up, hope that you keep doing crappy so that way they can do better than you. And as long as they're always doing better than you and they keep you down, then they're happy. Hit my coach. Like, what the fuck? That's not helping anybody. And then they claim that you're out for the home grower and you just want to help everybody. I want to help everybody. Look at that. Your plant's got fucking one long stick that's 6 foot tall, no branches. Good job, Gromy. Help that guy. Help him. Like, Jesus. I'm just so fucking irritated. I should just get off because I'm really irritated. I know some people are gonna be like, man, how do you let so many people irritate you? Because again, it's where I came from. You know, like I came to YouTube to learn to grow weed and I got fucking shit on all the bullshit information. And sucked for a long time. Really fucking wasted a lot of money on bullshit I didn't need. And the shit's still continuing to go on YouTube. And these people are being called out about it. Like, hey, just give real numbers. Nobody, it has nothing to do personally. Just stop, you know, lying and be honest with people. But nobody seems to be able to do that. And if you do that, then somehow you get ostracized and you can't be fucking anywhere because everybody blocks you. Like, look, I'm not trying to take over. I'm not trying to take over your show. I'm just trying to spread the good knowledge to the growers. And you don't like that because then it takes away from you. Like you want all the credibility. I mean, whatever. Fine. Keep teaching everybody to grow shitty weed. And I'm gonna promote fucking getting rid of THCA garbage hemp weed. So that way the street prices can go back up and all the fucking plant killers that don't really want to learn how to grow can go buy weed again.
Well, you know, when you get wound up like that, Chop, don't, whatever you do, start thinking about, you know, all that bullshit you spent, that time you spent. Don't think about if you've just been doing it right for all them years, how much better off you would be, in a better position you would be now, because that's just going to really get you goat. Think of the thousands. Don't think of the thousands.
But that's what gets me fired up about YouTube is that these motherfuckers are still doing the same shit that happened to me, giving out bullshit information. And I used to think it's because they didn't know themselves. But at this point, there's enough people out here screaming you're full of shit.
Yes.
That they don't want to learn the real shit.
Yes. But, I think. Go on.
You look at two different grows, but you choose to be with the guy that has the shittiest grow. Why?
Yes.
Oh, because he's nice to you? So you came on YouTube to be treated nice. It had nothing to do with growing plants. Okay, well, go to that community. Because this is about fucking growing weed, growing the best, learning how to smoke it the best possible way. I don't know. Maybe it isn't for everybody, but it is for me. You want to know how to grow weed and just fucking rinse and repeat, do the very minimal work, spend the very least amount of money, I'm your guy. Hit me up on fucking IG. You can hit my Cash App and I'll do a consult.
I was very lucky when I started running that Spanish facility. Started being their advisor because when I seen Grow Boss, I'd been over the years. I've been in once or twice, not for very long, and just shook my head. And then the last 3 or 4, half a dozen, I did catch. But it was more about taking the piss in the chat that I liked and all that malarkey. So I bumped into a few gromies there and scrubbed up, you know, as you do. And that all came to it just ended. Do you remember how fast it came to an end? Well, I took myself to Scrog school and participated and did that for a very short period of time. And then one of the gromies I'd met at Growboss, they popped up and did something. So while I was in Spain at the facility, so I showed them, and they took the piss out of me. You know, it didn't really bother me. It did for a few hours, but it didn't really bother me. And so I goes back to Scrog school to heal my wounds. And then but there was no plants really on that one. And then another one popped up. And then finally I got to see the glorious plants. And at that point I knew instantly where I should be heading towards, you know, because it was so very simple. The guy that I was watching was not doing as good as this guy's doing. Well, he's the better one. That's where I'm gonna follow track. So I wasn't like you and was in the bullshit for years. I was lucky.
Yeah, I'm glad a lot of people didn't waste as much time as I did before they found the grow boss and actually got the information. Look, I'm like, that's the funny thing. Most of us over here, like, we're gonna give you the same information that Welcome to the Grow Tent gives people, right? They just don't like how we give it. You know, they just don't. And so I feel like maybe they feel like if they pay for the information, they'll take it a little more seriously. And I don't want them to waste their time. So maybe if you pay for it, you'll be a little more interested in investing your time in actually learning to grow rather than, you know, like. I learned from the same person Welcome to the Grow Tent did. I do the same techniques Welcome to the Grow Tent does.
Well, your media's changing, so some things are changing, eh? But the basics of training, watering or whatnot, because you do things different now. You're in cocoa.
Well, that is the thing. Like, Welcome to the Grow Tent was really stressing on its own. Like, once you learn how to water correctly, it gets so easy and everything fucking changes. It's a whole different game.
Well, it's a time thing, isn't it? You just think about these kind of people we talk about on YouTube, how very slow their progress is because they're only running a 10 and they're vegging and they're flowering in the same space and they're not even filling the 10. They're probably doing one plant. So the amount they learn in that 1 year from trial and error themselves, they're never going to make the progress, are they? They're not. What they're going to get? 4 goes a year, 5 goes a year? No, not even that. 3, 4.
Well, I used to work on boat canvas, right? We used to make the boat covers and the tops and the big rooms that are on the big fucking huge boats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
With canvas. Well, we always used to do this bid. We always would bid one of the biggest yacht clubs in Portland, Oregon. We always used to go there, we'd do bids, but we never got the jobs. We were always like, what the fuck? You know, one day one of the members came to us and was like, hey, you know why you guys aren't getting these jobs? And it was like, why? It's because you're not charging enough. We're like, what? And he's like, add $1,000 to your next fucking bid and watch, you'll get the job. And sure enough, it's because people thought because it was too good of a deal, it wasn't going to be good enough work.
Yeah.
If they weren't paying enough, then it was going to just be crap you know, and that's, you know, the same way I'm kind of feeling on the internet. Like, if you want real information, pay for it, because then I know you're gonna fucking take it seriously. You know, like, otherwise, if I don't charge you, you're gonna forget fucking everything I told you, and I'm not gonna waste my time explaining it all to you if you're just gonna turn around and go over to another channel and ask the same fucking questions. I don't want to waste my time or your time. $25 an hour, and I'll sit there and talk with you one-on-one. Or you can just go back and find me on all these different streams and listen to fucking and put it all together, and you get it all for free. Because I tend to give out all the information pretty quick. Like, yeah, I figured something happened.
Well, is the link out there, Chop?
Yeah, the link's out. I had pinned it. I think it should be pinned.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Flyby jump up. He's probably just riding around on his lawnmower.
There's only like 3 people that ever really jump on my stream. You, Nuggy, fucking
ADHD,
ADHD,
creative.
and sometimes you'll see, you know, like LED grower or a random person. But
Where was we just then? Oh, yes. Maybe Flyby has been taken away by all them cicadas.
cicadas, yeah, he probably got
Yeah,
taken away.
maybe they kidnapped Flyby.
I have a feeling Flyby does shit during the day.
No, he doesn't, does he?
He gets to pop in chat here and there, but he really doesn't have the means that, or at a place to where he can jump on a fucking panel.
Well,
I would like to think that
hasn't
he would jump up if he could, but I'd rather think that than he just doesn't want to come up. But
Yeah,
I don't really care.
I'd like to see it. He's just happy doing his real life stuff. It's not that he's just being ignorant. Because it's
No, he
Sunday.
comes over, shows the love that he can. He's in the middle of doing other shit, still shows love, but can't jump on the panel because he's doing shit. I get it. I know exactly what's going on. Most of people's time, free time like that, is going to be like after dinner, you know, after the kids went to bed, after the wife's getting tired, she's winding down, getting ready to go to bed. That's when the fellas normally jump up on the streams. I get it. You know, I don't really care.
I said whether it's that
But I'm
or
not. I don't get people coming over here to want to fucking learn to grow or nothing. Like, and that's okay too. Yeah.
Oh, that's not. There's nobody that wants to jump up and talk to Chop about growing.
No.
Blimey.
Nobody wants to show they grow. Everybody'd rather go over the levels.
I thought that John or AJ Kilgore would have nipped up, but she left. All these people, no one wants to talk about the plant but me and you.
Creative when he's available does, but
oh, he's not having any of it today, I don't think.
He's probably out riding his bike. He should be. Get outside if you can. Oh yeah.
You know that link of that guy that you sent me that is out by your way from Instagram? You remember that?
Oh look, there's my buddy.
What's going on, guys?
What up, buddy?
Nada. Just fucking doing some shit outside. Figured I'd hop up and say, "What up?"
Cheers,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good to see you, bro.
I almost felt like I was crying there a little bit. Like, nobody could come up. Like, oh, I'm going back to
That's why
levels.
Mikey came.
Yeah, I always feel like I should come up, but I got ADHD too, so I end up doing a million things and forget to. I end up listening most
Well,
of
it's
the time.
not. I know that not only are you doing your own shit, but then you're doing family shit, and then you're, doing stuff with your sister, your cousin. But like, you, Mikey's a big into his family, so Mikey's does a lot of family stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on for sure. Yeah.
What's the outdoors then? You mentioned that. Are you doing anything plant related?
Not my. I have one outside for me. Just because I threw it out there, it was a runt, so it's just living out there now. But I got my sister is gonna have four. My uncle's gonna have like 30. My buddy down the road's gonna have. So I have a lot of outdoor, but it's just more I'm helping other people.
Not yours.
I don't want outdoor, to be honest.
Kind of.
I don't want outdoor. I grew it for years, so I still have outdoor from last year.
You're always welcome, man. You're always welcome.
Yeah, no outdoor. Just the one little Blizzard of Oz plant. I don't know. See how it goes.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the difference, eh? Whether it grows differently out there when it's done.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Yeah.
Well, sometimes you just get tired of throwing away plants, and you're like, man, just throw this one outside. Fuck it.
I don't know. Maybe I'll grow it out and see if it's any good. If it's half decent, I don't know. Give it to the homeless or something.
I got those volunteers are doing fucking killer that just started growing outside. And then, you get to, like, throwing moms outside. They don't always die. You just throw the whole root wad out on the ground, and it rains a couple days, and fuck, they like root themselves in, and then just keep growing. It's crazy.
Oh, there's a lot of work outdoor this year.
Or it's raining like a fucking a lot of rain today.
This is the first nice day we've had in like 2 weeks. It's just been muggy and rainy and kind of shitty. Cold too.
What's that, man? Look at those plants. Hell yeah.
Just my little unhealthy veg plants,
Yeah. You just haven't done the Swazi yet.
Right. Oh, and here's my waste of time, that I keep hearing on the internet, when you grow autos, fucking in my free space, somehow I'm wasting money, but
yeah, I was snickering about somebody saying that the other day. They're like, "Oh yeah, those are just a waste of space. Like they never do anything. They never like." I've only did autos once, and I was actually quite happy. But
I got my clones down there. I always take an extra one, so 2 of those will be gone. These 2 actually might be gone. I don't know. They're not looking real happy, so I might just get rid of those. Then I got a bunch of cuts and cups right here. I got to get put in the dome. Yeah. So then, I always grow a little longer legs because my back doesn't allow me to get way down underneath.
Well, and that just happens when you grow one plant in a big tent, right? Like it just takes longer to vegetate.
Yeah, it's a 3x3 tent, and I got my web grow, which makes it fucking awesome for me. And yeah.
And it's
I
better put my hand up here so you guys can see that they're not finger-sized buds.
Right. They're bigger than your thumbnail. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're a little bit bigger. Not much.
So he's aware he's better than Carl already.
It's fucking weird, isn't it? Oh, and all my leaves are still here. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, the leaves are all there. That's weird.
Yeah. But this is one of my favorite strains at the moment. This is GG4 Sherbert Fast Flower from 420 Fast Buds. This finishes in about 54 days of flower. And it's a photo period.
Nice.
And it does this every time, dude. This is my third time I'm knocking it out of the park with this one. And all bullshit aside, there's a pound in that tent. Guarantee it.
Yeah. Well, look at the size of the buds and look at how long they are. I mean, that's when you look at that, it's hard to dispute when somebody gives you a weight. I mean, when somebody shows you that, it's like, oh, okay.
Yep.
But if you show me that same thing and it was all fucking just fingernail sized buds, I'm gonna go, maybe not.
There's a good pound in there for sure. We'll
Yeah,
always be there.
This is day 45 of flower right now.
45.
Yeah, she got about 10 more days to go, and she'll be done. And then I got this one, GG4 Sherbert. This is on day 15 of flower.
Oh, I mean, that's and look, the buds are already 15 days and they're already bigger than your thumbnail. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, most people would be harvesting these right now, right?
Yeah, that's the size they're fucking finishing.
You know, they don't care about the white hairs and stuff, from what I see.
The green as shit, white hairs. Yeah.
But
you know,
I do have two. I put two in this tent. We may be in trouble.
Look, it doesn't, well, you look like you're going to be in a little bit of trouble, but it doesn't matter. One plant, two plants, as long as you fill the fucking space. I mean,
Yeah, I got to spread them out. This is only day 2 of flower, day 1 of flower, day 1 or 2 of flower. I'm going to spread these branches this way and the back ones that way. I'm going to take some branches out because we don't need all of them. And
you got to take round plants and fit them in a square tent.
Exactly.
That's the funniest thing.
Well, I took this branch off yesterday, which is one of the ones that's over there in the cup, and it was all the way up here. You know what I mean? But I just didn't need it. By the time I get done shaping this plant, it'll fit right in here, and that one will fit right in there. And
you know, one
of the things I see is people leave too much of this crap on their plants. You know, thinking it's going to do something when you don't need all this. Leave the leaves on, take the shoots. And that way there, you're still getting the energy. And later in flower, you can come under here and strip off the leaves because they're not doing anything. They're not getting any light.
I mean, if you know what a plant should look like, you should be able to stand back, look at the plants, and go, oh, yeah, all that right there's got to go. I mean, you can just see it. Like,
wish I could show you better with this fucking light in the way, though. They're pretty healthy.
Oh yeah, no, they're green. They're nice green. Not really dark green.
They actually look darker on video than what they actually are. Weirdly enough, isn't it usually the other way around?
Well, you can tell because the leaves are happy. I mean, you just tell by the plants.
And this is the SF the fucking 5,000 there light that they got. It's I think 480 total watts, and I never go higher than 80% in this tent. So I'm figuring it's just about 400 watts that I run in here.
Yeah, that light will last so much longer, not having to pound the light.
Right. But yeah, I hadn't shown anything in a while on anybody's stream, son.
Hell yeah,
you sounded like you sounded like you needed to be cheered up with seeing some plants. And
yeah, I'm depressed.
Well, anyways, I'm gonna get the dehumidifier and shit kicked back on. And I'll.
Hell yeah.
You guys have a great holiday weekend.
Hey, you too, buddy.
All right, peace, everyone.
Thank you.
Yep.
People with good plants never want to talk loud. Like here's.
Well, there's nothing much to say, really. Hey, look at that one's this week. That one's this week. Look, I have 2 in that one. You know, you're like, thanks for letting me come up. Have a good day. I mean, because there's
and that's a perfect example of having legs and us not ripping someone apart for having them, because it doesn't matter. It's the people that flex the legs as being the reason why they've burned out their whole canopy. You know, like I don't care if you have legs and you're growing one plant. Shit happens, right?
Yeah, that's
You know?
one of the last things that you fucking figure out, and it's the hard thing to figure out because, like, look, if I have a plant and they're flowering, and I have a plant over here that's vegging, and I need to put it into, but I have to wait for the fucking flower tent, so I get a little bit longer legs just because it's still a fucking healthy plant, right? Super healthy plant, full canopy, filled the tent. You got fucking big buds, not little teeny bud. I mean, what can I
Yeah.
say about the legs? Like, okay, good job.
You know, I think he's clearly a good grower. So I think he would be he would benefit from ordering like higher end seeds. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Like I think he could crush with some like his fast buds and stuff like that. They're like kind of beginner seeds. That guy could grow. You know, he's like one of the guys that you could tell to spend some money and it would be worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But,
yeah. Like, what once you're just knocking it out of the park every time, yeah, then I would not be afraid to like go buy a $100-$200 pack of seeds. You know, because you know they're gonna be good.
hey, I came up with a new business idea for Channel 2.
So who's that?
Oh,
Don't
shit.
watch him.
So since
I'm
he likes
surprised
to
you
go,
know who he is, Root.
since he likes to go snatch people's stuff and squat and all that stuff, I came up with an idea that he have a plausible deniability. He can go in the middle of the summer, snatch solar panels off of people's roofs that got solar, take half of the panels off, and when he gets busted for it, he can just say he's performing the schwaz on their roof.
He's schwazzing the roof, right?
Exactly.
He should be a repo man.
Yeah.
Because that way he can just say, "Oh, I'm repoing it."
Right. He's schwazzing it. He's cutting off half the solar panels.
I'm shocked, even know who he is.
Isaac.
Cheers, Isaac.
Isaac.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, actually,
How's it going, buddy?
what happened? There's a little bit of history there. At one point, he was making moon rocks with nail polish remover.
Don't say it.
And so I was like, dude, don't do that. You're causing people like health issues. Like, if you want to do that for yourself, that's fine, but you're putting people's lives at risk. And he's like, I'm not listening to you. Like, what do you know? And he's like, I'm not listening to anyone without a PhD in chemistry. I'm like, well, actually, I do have a PhD, but that's beside the point. And he
What
just shut
cracked
the
me
hell
up
up. And
is
then he
he
blocked
was
me.
telling you he was telling you all about how he cooks it all out, he gets rid of it all, but then he has to add rubbing alcohol to it to thin it out a little bit so he can use it to work with. You know, like, oh my god, like oh, it's so thick, I gotta add a little alcohol to thin it out. Yeah, and then you add it right to the buds. So now you just added rubbing alcohol to the buds. So tell me whatever you want about the acetone and you burned it off and it's all good, blah, blah, blah. But you just put rubbing alcohol on your buds.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Isaac, I know you're partial to a psychedelic experience. Have you ever smoked acetone?
No. One time, I cleaned my bong. I left alcohol in it, and my friend hit it, and I fucking forgot, and he was so mad at me.
Yeah,
Dude.
it stole all that oxygen from his lungs. It felt like they was going to collapse.
Yeah, he was pissed. I was like, dude, I didn't finish cleaning it. He hit it or some shit. I don't even know how it happened, or I didn't rinse it or something. It was a little bit maybe. Yeah.
Well,
So was I here yesterday?
Well, imagine being able to have that experience at leisure whenever you want. You can have that with a moon rock or a Detroit moon rock.
No, I don't want those. Dude, all you have to do is get like distillate hot, dip the nug in the distillate, and then roll it in keef. You don't know how to use rubbing alcohol.
No. Like if I need
You must be a
to thin
grower,
something out, I
Isaac.
would just
No, I
I
ain't
would
a
just warm
grower.
it
I
up a
just
little
have
bit.
experience.
What, you don't even grow and you know that?
Yeah, I know that much, but I rent with my parents. So
Wow.
I don't have the space to grow where I would. Like, I don't really
Yeah,
have that
yeah.
privilege right now.
I just find it fascinating how somebody's not within the grow himself and he even knows basic things like that.
Yeah, there's a really cool guy on Instagram called Sunrocks, and he'll like, you probably seen it, but he'll make the beads of oil like he'll like put the wax on the bud and then get a blow dryer and he'll like make it hot and he'll make little balls. They look like little sun balls, like little Super Saiyan Dragon balls on the bud because the way it like forms circles when you heat it up
Yeah.
and it glows in the sun. He calls them sun rocks instead of moon rocks, and he's genius.
Sounds high dollar.
Yeah, he'll do stash and dashes and stuff. Like I think he's in San Francisco area, if I remember. Like he'll
Huh.
hide a
That's
jar of
cool.
it. You can find it.
Oh, those are cool, like geocaching or something.
Yeah,
Like leave a little clue of where I left it.
yeah.
And if you
I
find it,
found
you find
one.
it.
Yeah, I found one before from a dispensary in San Luis. They gave me like 7 grams of the best bud I ever had, and like 4 grams of wax in a bag. And like, hey, come find it. And I sprinted. I knew where it was. I sprinted. I got it. It
Nice.
was like a mile sprint too. Yeah.
That's fucking
But yeah, was I
cool.
here
Yeah.
yesterday? Because I was on so many mushrooms, I forgot where I was or what happened.
I don't know. You might have been here. I don't think you were on the panel though. I'm trying to
Oh, okay.
remember. I wasn't on mushrooms and I can't remember.
It's all good. Someone said they knew I took psychedelics, so I thought that was a reference to me last night. But he probably just remembers.
So
Because I
how's things
hopped
going?
like 10
Fucking,
panels on shrooms in like 8 hours. I was just unraveling my brain.
oh, that's cool though. Fucking,
Yeah.
as long as you're having a good time, fuck it.
Yeah. I like diving deep on shrooms. Like everything feels more real. Everything feels more like in tune. Like there's a meaning. It's real. You can feel the meaning. You can feel the purpose. It's like weird. So I like
You're
it.
just more in touch with reality.
Yeah, but people say you get farther, but that's because now you're not a part of the system, which is makes up our society. So I get it. They say
Right.
you get less in touch, but you're also getting more in touch with a different side of reality. Yeah.
Well, probably the real world, because everything in what we call the real world is still fucking fake. Uh, You know,
Basically,
you get to
a
see
huge
things.
illusion.
You
Yeah.
get to see. Yes, yes. You get to see things the way it truly is.
Yeah.
And for
Like I
some
slept for
people,
3 hours. I was like,
that's
I gotta
it.
get up. Yeah, it makes you feel so good and clear. I didn't want to sleep. Yeah, I feel it. Like, so there's a Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Some people say they're channeled, fake, whatever, blah blah. There, it says in there though that like a lot of the world works with illusion of the senses. So it's like we're like higher than 3-dimensional beings, but we're like stuck in a 3-dimensional mind space, kind of, in a way, with our senses.
Well,
I can see that.
in a normal state, think of it like your car radio, right? There's tons of frequencies floating around all over the place, but it's what you tune your radio to is the only thing that comes out of the speakers.
You're right. And
Right,
there's only a
And
right.
stock option.
and by doing psychedelics, you end up basically taking that tuner and chucking it right out the window and getting a full pipe to the entire radio frequency band and hearing everything.
That's what I was wondering if you're getting at. That's cool. Yeah, that's similar. It gets intense. Like I cried last night. I probably got angry once. I probably, like, but I like that going through that. And I've had brain damage, coma. I like that side. When I woke up from the coma, I was actually a little disappointed because I was just such at peace. I was like, "What the fuck? Now I'm back."
Like
Well,
this is
think
it.
about it.
Oh,
Yeah,
In a normal basis, your brain can only handle so much input at a time, right? And you have
yeah,
five senses. Each of those five senses operate in a frequency range, right? Your ears operate from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Your eyes operate in the visual spectrum for color, right? Which is that 400 to 700 nanometers. And
yeah,
so, and you can feel vibrations. Like if you've ever gone near a, like a powerful microwave or a powerful Wi-Fi, you can actually feel 2.4 even though it's subtle.
Yeah, I've been tested on experimentally with magnets on my brain by a weird corporation. I know all about that, and I'm sensitive to frequencies now because they gave me the electric shock therapy.
Ah,
But they didn't tell me. They kind of sold me this idea that I was in a coma and it would help my brain, and they didn't really tell me what it was until after I figured it out. It's a scam. Fucking, I want to sue them, but my parents are like mad that it involves people we know and shit.
so you were kind of like a MK Ultra test monkey in a way.
Yeah, yeah, and it's weird because my grandpa went to third grade class with Charles Manson, right? So it's like, what the fuck? How are we connected, and why? And why am I getting tested on with pharmaceuticals and electricity?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it makes me wonder. I don't know.
Well, who signed the check on that then? How old was you?
Yeah, good call. Right? Who got the
How old
insurance?
was you?
Who got the data money? Did they sell my? I think they sold my brain scan. Like, oh,
Yeah.
this guy
No,
has a sick brain.
how old
Go
was
be
you
scanned.
when this happened? How old was
Yeah,
you
they.
when this happened?
It was like February of 2 years ago, so it's been 2 years and 3 months.
Of age? Well, who said that it's okay to do that to you?
I had family contact me because they knew I was in a coma and they worked there. So it's like, oh, they probably just got paid.
You were
They
in a
just want to bug you.
coma.
Yeah. So they
Slow
targeted
down.
me. Yeah.
You was in a coma.
Yeah, just for 2.5 days. But it was like an outer body experience, full on vision, full on out of body, like spirit world.
What brought this on?
Yeah, that's what happened. They like sold me an idea. They're like, hey, it'll help your brain. They were probably experimenting, getting paid to do research. You know?
Was did you take psychedelics and go into the coma, or was it like an actual health thing where you had a fit? Or
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it
were
was a skateboarding accident, 10-foot fall, going about 15
whew,
miles per hour.
they were trying to look at your brain and see what parts of your brain were active while you were in the coma.
Yep.
And they want to, I mean, and the research really is to see if, like, when you're in a coma, do you use a completely different part of your brain? And
Yeah, it's like the
and when
deep
you
sleep
come
state.
out of the coma, does it switch back? And how does that work?
No, it
Right?
didn't
That's
switch
good.
back. It didn't switch back. I was like a different being, and then when they shocked me, now I'm back.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
that's weird.
And I
That's
would rather
interesting.
go through a coma than go back to the magnet treatment 100% of the time. I would never go
Oh,
back. I'd never do it again.
absolutely,
I would rather have a
absolutely.
coma. I like that you understand. Like no one gets like you. No one's really kind of elaborated when I speak about it. Like until you
I
like
don't think
kind
that
of
there's parts of your brain. I don't think that you want to be running. You know, like
true.
there's a reason why we don't use all of our brain. I mean,
You're right. And it was intense. And I used to lucid dream like 3 to 4 times a week, and that went away. And it made me very mad that it went away, but it was also kind of relieving. Yeah.
well, yeah,
So
because that could go either way. That could be really
I get
good
what you're
dreams,
saying.
or it could be really bad.
I'm a lucid
Well,
dreamer where like it's like I could control reality, do anything, but I'll like try to find out why we're lucid dreaming and what's happening. And it's like they get mad when I get lucid. They will try to wake me up and they don't want me to be lucid. It's weird. So I get all these like theories that like why they shocked my brain because I was about to tap in. I was about to break through. Like
so
well,
when
it's
you
good
think
to see
about it,
you back,
right?
Romy Isaac. I've been wondering where you've been, but now we know what you've been
that's
up
where
to the last couple of months. It's good to see you back.
yeah, I
Well,
was anxious for 2 months straight. I had to go to the pharmacy actually and get anti-psychotic medicine and it went all my anxiety went away. It's
Oh,
weird.
good.
Like and I don't like them. Like I don't like the side effects and stuff, but it's working and I'm happy again and I could operate. Used to I was so afraid to drive the car. Like I was afraid to go out the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't use
So
your
I
whole
thank
brain.
you for inviting me back.
If you go
there's
and
a
you look at
reason.
the, oh,
There's a
go ahead.
reason why they have the term ignorance is bliss because you actually don't know what is on the other side, and you don't concern yourself with the stuff that is on balance another option in that scenario, right? Everything is like a choose your own adventure book. And if you know all sides, all possibilities, it'll drive you freaking mad.
Yeah,
And
knowledge is increase of knowledge increases sorrow.
Well, and
yep,
some of the smartest people were fucking nuts.
yeah.
They were
Oh yeah.
nuts.
And when you
Nikolai,
think about it, that's our experience
Einstein.
for this life, right? If you look at like the sort of the premise of our experience on this existence
It's,
is
it's
you don't
just a
know hot.
piece,
You don't really know hot until you've experienced cold also,
Yeah,
right? That's why you
and
right?
that's like
don't. How do you
you
know
can't
you're
experience
doing good?
consciousness almost without it.
How do you know you're doing good if you never do bad? You know,
It's
like
like my theory is like if we were always in heaven and we never had bad happen and we never had free will happen, we would never knew we were alive because we would just be in tune. We'd be perfect. We would not understand because everything would be perfect. So you'd never have to alter. Everything would be perfect. You would never know you're alive. Like so, I think there's a part of the plan as to where humans have to we have to enter this world in a human body, like to understand that we're alive. Because like
Just to
if
have
everyone's
some
perfect,
contrast.
there would be no contrast. There'd be no up and down. It would just be level. Everything would be perfect. There would be no existence because we wouldn't understand. Like it'd be too perfect. So I think there's a stage that we'll get to that experience, and we could probably meditate and live in that eternity. I bet we can meditate and come back here if we want. You know?
Now the part that gets me is that people that are obsessed with staying in an altered state because they feel more at bliss and
Yeah.
don't have that level of stress, anxiety, any of those
Yes.
opposite emotions, right? They want to just stay in a constant state of no problems, permanent bliss. And the thing of it is you're going to end up having that when you die again. So, but they end up spending their lives focusing on getting back to that which they were when they were in spirit. But then they decided to come here and incarnate to experience the contrast, and then they want to just, no, I don't want to experience that. I want to check out and
Yeah.
go back. It's like, focus on experiencing what's in front of you. You're going to be back there soon enough. Nobody's getting out of here alive.
you
Yeah.
know, quit trying to rush it. Like,
Yeah.
Enjoy what you got while you're here, and then when you go back, you'll just appreciate it.
I agree. Like I feel so fortunate I get to take mushrooms on Earth. Like I'm like, this is I like. There's a lot of things that I like, but I would say that's like top tier
And
mushrooms.
it's fine to have a quick glimpse
Yeah.
back to, whoa, okay, I forgot what that was. All right, now I remember, and now I go back to the duality contrast. But for people to just constantly, chase that
Yeah.
permanent bliss
Chase
condition,
the dragon or whatever.
it's like you're missing the point of life. Life is meant to be that set of contrasts to give you that experience.
Yeah,
If it was
feel it.
just meant to be in bliss, then I mean, you can do that while you're dead.
I like that.
And
It's
we'll
really
be
cool.
back there before you know it anyway. Time accelerates as you get older.
Yeah, true. Because I remember my childhood feels like an eternity, but the last 10 years don't feel like even a two.
You know why that is,
Compared.
Isaac?
Huh?
You know why that is, right?
I'm not sure, no.
It's as a percentage of relative memory to your entire existence in this incarnation. So back when you were a kid, summer vacation felt like it took forever. And then as you got older, the summer comes and goes in like a blink of an eye, and you're like, shit, it's already September. Where the hell did the summer go? Didn't the kids just get out of school like 3 weeks ago?
That makes sense, yeah.
So, but because it's a much smaller percent of your overall memory bank, so that reference point seems like a smaller percentage, and therefore it's smaller in your mind, as opposed
That's
to
cool.
3 months when you're a 10-year-old. It seems like a long ass time
Yeah.
because it's.
Middle school, oh no, elementary school felt like eternity. I remember looking like if I could go back and feel that. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like it was like that's all you knew. I guess maybe it's kind of is that. I don't know. I think I get it.
Well, not only that, but also for the first 7 years of your life, you're actually in that uh, bridge where your subconscious is still wide open, and that establishment of training your subconscious is fully wide open, open to suggestion, open to learning. Now, once you hit about 7, then it all changes, and then from like that 7 to 13, 14 range, you're in a different stage, and then your 13 to 21 stage, you're in a different part, and then by the time you're 25, it's just like game over. That's where you're mentally at, and from there, you have to really like hack your system in order to reprogram it to do anything different from what you learned the first 25 years.
Got it.
But like, think
Makes
about
sense.
just how
I've
many
explained
people.
it that way, kind of like okay. So if I have to really look back, I would say I feel like I'm 19, right? Let's just say
Mhm.
that. But when I was 19, I felt like I was 15. See what
Right,
I'm
because
saying?
the that time perception of how things roll, it's exponential. So
So I
it,
still am like 15, like in my head almost. Like I still because I I remember being 19, felt the same. But when I was 19, I was still like 15. That's what I'm saying. I'm like
I,
that.
I get
I'll
it.
never
I'm
alter.
the
I'll never
same way.
change.
At 52, I feel mentally 35, but at the same point, my body's like, yeah, no, you're not.
Yeah, I get that part. That's cool. I think we're making sense. I think.
But I mean, think about just on an anecdotal level, how many people that end up needing to go to like psychotherapy or that type of stuff to try and overcome traumas from their youth in their 30s and 40s, right? And
Yeah.
you'd think, well, shoot, that was something that happened, 20, 30 years ago. Like, get over it. No, it's not get over it because it's etched in a different part of your brain.
Yeah, I have it. I have PTSD on some level. I'm not. It's getting better, but I saved a guy drowning. It's like a 25-meter swim. Like I came back to the shore after I egg beatered him back. He's like a 250-pound dude, can't swim, barely making it. My friend jumps in and is helping, like the last 10 meters, whatever. And I get back to the shore, I collapse. I'm about to have a stroke, and like my neck is tight, and it's still tight to this day. And like I feel like I'm gonna die. And I couldn't walk. I tried to get up and walk. I crumbled to the floor. Like so now I don't like water. I don't like being at the lake. I don't like seeing people swim because now I'm like, oh, I might have to risk my life right now. Like, so I get it. I totally understand it. And it is etched in. Like
And for you, you actually exhausted all of your natural energy and you were just running
everything.
on straight adrenaline.
Yes. I was
And
there
when you
was
got to and
lactic
when you
acid
got to
buildup.
shore
Fuck.
and when you got to back to shore and knew that everything the danger was gone then your adrenaline spike dropped and you just collapsed. You're like, all right, I'm completely out of energy. I have no natural energy and my adrenaline stopped.
Yeah, I felt like I never recovered fully. Um and then I got to my parents' house and I just collapsed to the floor and started crying like
Yep.
40 minutes. Because it was just intense. Like dude, and his mom walks over after I saved his life, and she's like, "Thank you," and I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." But in my head, I'm like, "This is the scariest shit ever."
Hey, at
And this
least you
guy's
didn't
like
have it like a buddy
22.
of mine. A buddy of mine actually ended up saving a girl who flipped her F-150 over and he pulled her out of her truck and
Ooh,
brought her to safety so that nothing happened to her after
mm.
the wreck. And then the parents of the teenage girl that flipped her truck turned around and tried to sue my friend because he had to bust the sunroof of the truck in order to get her out. And
That's so fucked.
they wanted to sue him for 2 grand for a new sunroof.
Oh my god. Yeah, let's try to compare the price of a life to a sunroof real quick. Type shit.
And he's like, man, talk about no good deed goes unpunished. What the fuck, dude?
That is so jacked
The
up.
girl
Like,
flipped her truck over. I slammed on my brakes, pulled over to the side, yanked her out of her truck, so
yeah,
that
that's
in case the damn thing caught on fire or something
yeah.
else. And
It is kind of funny that you say, or like from the opposite point of view. I was so mad, like a couple weeks later after I saved his life, and I was so stressed out. I was so mad. I was like, dude, I want to sue that fucking family for letting his kid jump off a bridge where there's a sign that says "Don't jump." So I almost died because some freaking guy didn't listen to the sign. So I was like, I was actually like so mad. I was like, I'm gonna sue them, but
well,
they
it
wrote a
even
newspaper
affected
article, and that
it.
I
It
never would. I
it
was
was
mad.
see, at least that turned out positive on that front. Like I
Yeah.
was actually on the phone with him, and I was like, hey, I saw somebody that had a their battery died after they were parked in a parking lot, and I was on the phone with that guy, and I was like, chit chatting, hey, what are you up to, whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just helping to jump start this person because I have one of those battery jump boxes in my
Yep.
SUV,
Mm.
and he's like, screw them, don't help them out. You just end up getting the shit under the stick. They'll blame you for their electrical system screwing up or something later, and I'm like, damn, dude, you're jaded now.
Thanks for jumping up, Unc.
Yeah. Oh, much love. Peace.
He's in the UK, so it's dinner time for him.
Oh, type. Beer time for me. I just woke up.
Yeah, sorry to hijack your stream there, Chapo.
No, no, hey, it's all content. I don't give a shit. It's
Yeah, sorry.
interesting.
I talk a lot.
I was still one of the 65% that believe we only use 10% of our brain. So I just learned something. I had to go look it up, and I did, and I'm like, kind of blows me away. Like,
How much do we use then?
we use it all. I mean, all
Uh,
of our brain is running, but
I guess you could.
you still need to do things to strengthen your brain power in
Yeah,
order
like
to use it appropriately, or that's why everybody's still different. Like if we all used all of our brain all the time, we'd all be the same intelligent, right? We'd all be the same. Like,
yeah. Then
And
knowledge
here's
would
another
have no power.
contrast to that. Here's another contrast to that, though. And this is not meant to be disparaging. It'll come off sounding like that, but take it for what it is and just listen to the content and don't jump to conclusions. Women actually use more of their brain power than men do most often.
I
Not
believe
all,
that.
not all, but most of the time. Guys, we have a chance when we get every opportunity. We do things in buckets, and we go back to that nothing bucket whenever we can just to get a recharge.
Yep,
We don't,
the dump
we
bucket.
don't, yeah,
Yep,
we don't think about shit. We just chill. And like, women also don't understand how we can have a nothing bucket, and on top of that, how we can just chill with our boys and like sit there for an hour watching a ball game or doing whatever and like barely even converse with each other, but we're still just chilling. They don't understand that. They always have to be talking about something, and if there's no talking going on, and that means you're doing something subversive in your mind, then that's why you're quiet. Like, they don't get it. Because their brain, number one, are the way that like our brains are wired is actually a fundamental truth. It's been proven, but um, aside from that, our chemistry is different. Testosterone and estrogen act different, completely differently. And like men during our youth are constantly thinking about getting some, whereas chicks don't have that same level of, you know, wanting to pursue the other side, right? And so that's why men are also at a disadvantage in the dating game for, the young buck crowd. Because they're not that interested and they're interested in getting, uh, extracting output, whereas guys are interested in what they can get from a
yeah,
sexual standpoint.
we're thinking with the wrong head.
Exactly. But it's
Yeah.
not our fault. It's just the fact that God created our bodies in such a way that if we didn't have that like built-in freaking desire to just do stupid stuff to chase after procreation, that our human existence would die off because if it was left up to women to to equally pursue men, it wouldn't happen at all.
Yeah.
So we operate on a completely different operating system and have totally different focus of, pursuing our ends, right? They have a different set of things that they're
Yeah.
looking for, and we have a different set. But they won't understand. They like if you ask a woman, and she says like, "What are you thinking about?" and you're like, "Nothing." She thinks you're lying to her. She doesn't understand that you can actually just sit there and veg out and not think about
Right.
shit.
Or just not care. Like some things I'm just like, fucking my wife will be like, how do you not fuck? Because there's nothing I can do about it. I can't
Right.
control it. I don't. And they're like, no, fuck that. We need to figure it. Like, no, there's really nothing to figure out. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
Like, I don't know how you can just be nonchalant. And it's like, well, I'm not nonchalant, but there's nothing I can do about it.
And part of that is also learned, right? We have to end up worrying about existential issues, big tasks that we have to accomplish, things that are, we have to prioritize. Oh, that's too small to even worry about, right?
Yeah,
And as you end up having a set of worries when you're a little kid, every little thing seems like it's the end of the world, right? Oh my God, I got an F on a test. In the grand scheme of things, guess what? If you end up passing school with a D, what
you still
happens?
pass.
You
You
still
still
fucking
pass.
passed. Right, who cares? The end result's still the same. You might not have gotten the little shiny star and the extra weird sash when you walk to freaking graduation, but who cares? You still passed.
You got the same diploma.
Right.
Mm.
But, like, for them, every detail matters. And we're just, like, some things, those details matter, and other stuff, it's just like, well, whatever, good enough. I got other shit to worry about on my plate.
Yeah, it'll do.
And we have to sort by importance. So it's just a fundamental difference, and that perception is what differentiates like the inputs that we receive. We can be standing right next to a woman, and a man will interpret the situation completely differently than a man does. It's like, were we even in the same room? Like, did you even see what I saw? But it was through a whole different perspective filter. So it's kind of crazy when you like think about the neural programming part of interpreting information that's coming through. It's the same information.
Yeah,
That's like the context of saying, oh well, this person got killed.
that's right, Mitchell. If you finish last in med school, they still call you doctor.
Bingo.
Yeah, it's a trip because I watch my sister and she's pregnant and has like a 1.5-year-old. I'm like, dude, I couldn't pull that off, and she's so strong. I'm like, yo, I don't know how you do it. They're different than us, for sure. Like, I
We're we're
it blows my
we're
mind.
apt we're apt to make quicker decisions too, and it not be the right decision. Or a woman will think it out a little bit more. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some dudes that I actually had this for a little bit because I had a perfectionist streak for a while, and I would get plagued with indecision because it wasn't the perfect decision, so I didn't make any for a little while. And I had to work through figuring out and reconciling that, like we were earlier saying, that there's a balance and some stuff's important to take that level of care and accuracy and having to have things just right and place high import on it. And there's other stuff that it's like, who cares? Good enough. Move on. Like choosing a meal is a good example. Hell, what do you want to eat? Oh, I don't know. You choose. All right. How about this? No, I don't like that. How about this other thing? No, I don't want that
no,
either. Okay, what do you want? I don't know. Just pick anything. It's like, oh, what?
yeah, no,
I just threw out two things you didn't want. So come up with something on your own. Throw something out on your retort. You know what I mean? But in the end, it's something stupid like a meal. It's going to be over and done with in 30 minutes anyway. It's not that important.
right. That's pretty much how I am with everything. The wife's like, "Well, what do you think?" I'm like, "I don't give a shit. If that's what you want to do. Let's do it." And then she's
Yeah.
like, "No, I want to fucking." And it's like, I'm giving you my answer though. I really don't care. Like, not like being sarcastic or not. Like, I honestly don't care. If you want to do that, let's do that. But
Right,
she's
but
like,
something
"No,
more
you're not giving
important.
me a straight answer." And it's like, I am giving you a straight answer. No, you're just giving me an answer you think I want to hear. And it's like, no, I really don't care.
Well, sometimes that is the answer also, is because, like, I don't care enough. And to decode it, right? Guys answer for, I don't have an
Like,
answer.
I'm thinking of all the decisions in my head, and none of them that you decide to do, I'm going to be upset with. So I really don't care. I don't really care what you pick.
But
You know?
also, in addition to that, if you have any kind of a contentious woman that wants to end up, then you made a decision and then she starts debating you on its merits, sometimes you end up having a far enough along where it's just like, whatever I say, it's the answer, the outcome is not as important as the fact that I don't want to hear you complain. So that outweighs it. So I'd rather just not have an answer instead of having to sit there and discuss it for the next hour with you and debating its merits versus just pick what you want. I don't care.
Whatever you want. I don't give a shit. I'm easy.
No,
So I try to
no,
tell her,
for
I'm just easy going. I don't care. Whatever you decide, I'm good with
and
it.
that yeah, and that burns women to a freaking crisp. They can't stand the fact of like, oh, you're not taking charge. You're not telling me what you want. You're not
Yeah.
opening
Yeah.
up and communicating.
You
It's like,
making me,
no,
you always
I
make me make the decisions. And then if it doesn't work out, then it's my fault because I made, and I'm like, no, I don't think it's your fault. If shit don't
right.
work out, it just don't work out. Like, it's nobody's fault. Like, you know, like, because if I seen that it wasn't going to work out, if I'd seen any glimpse of that in my head, I wouldn't have told you I don't care. Like, like,
Or the
like,
other one I'll put out there is like if I'm driving in the car and my wife's in the passenger side and I'm going down the street and we're heading somewhere, and then I'll pass a turnoff and she's like, "Why didn't you go right?" Well,
right, right, yeah,
thanks for saying, "Hey, maybe you should go right up here early on so I could actually take some action and decide whether to or not." But telling me after the fact, A, is completely useless at this point. B, can't nothing I say from that's going to fix the situation that I'm already past that. So you're just now stirring up problems for no reason.
yeah.
Like
They
now there's
expect
nothing.
we can read their mind.
Well, the one that kills me is like when I'm cooking dinner and it's like, oh, why are you cooking it like that? That's not how I do it. That
Right.
just, I
It's the
can't
exact
stand.
same thing, just parlayed into
I
cooking
can't
instead of
stand that. Like,
driving.
look, I'm trying to make it, like I'm cooking so you can relax, whatever. Like the end result, you're not gonna know what I did unless you're standing over the top of me. So go sit the fuck down, or just do it yourself.
Yep. And it's like if you knew the way you wanted it done, why didn't you just do it to begin with?
Right.
Uh,
But that's not.
You
That's
want it
not
done, I'm
like
going to do it
any,
my way,
and
and then
that's not
that's
like anyone particular. That happens across the board with
of
everybody.
course, yeah.
Like everybody deals with those type of situations, and it's
Yeah.
not necessarily a bad thing. That's just showing how men and women are just a little different. You know.
That was my whole point. It wasn't to disparage
No,
women. It was just
no,
to point
absolutely
out
not.
how our thought process are
Yeah,
completely different on
it's
doing
just
things.
it's just different.
Yep. And then, but
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
live in Colorado, and I used to just be like, "Oh my God, how frustrating!" And I would just go silent and give her the silent treatment for 5 minutes after that. But now I'm like, "Oh, thank you for telling me after I can't do jack shit about what you just said. Good job. Appreciate that. I don't know how I ever learned how to drive without you, honey."
Yeah, like
So
I
you
don't.
said Colorado. Um, have you what's that Prop 122? I think Prop.
I don't know
Have
what
you
that is.
they legalized like ibogaine, DMT, and psilocybin, and
Oh,
mescaline. I just was curious if you heard about that.
No, I'm not over there, so I have no
I'm
Oh,
not
I
connection
thought you
going.
to
said
it.
Colorado. My bad.
No, I'm over by DC.
I'm in Cali. I went to Colorado and I would get DMT shipped to my doorstep. And shrooms. It's crazy.
Yeah, my daughter lives in Cali. I have a house over there, but I don't really go over there that often.
It's all right. I live in a nice rural area where it's like green and country. It's not like Gavin Newsom City where
Got, gotcha. More inland. You're not at the coast.
I'm inland. Yeah, I'm in a Central Valley agriculture area,
Gotcha.
so it
Where
feels like
normal
fucking
Californians
Wyoming.
live.
Yeah, we're like a different breed here in the valley. A lot of Cali doesn't like us. We're like a different state.
Yeah, absolutely. I
They'll
mean, if
call
you
us
were to,
valleys.
if you were just to like take a gigantic metaphorical knife and chop off the like 50 or
Yep.
40 mile of the coastline and let that become its own state and put the rest of California by itself inland.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
They
inland
probably
part
lose
of California.
electoral power that way because they would all vote one way, but then the other one would just. So
eh,
if they split up the state, they'd have less electoral votes. I'm guessing.
well, it's not even that. You got population density, but the thing of it is that all the condensed populations in the coastline are all blue, right? And they're basically the
Yeah.
rest of the inland state is mainly conservative.
No,
Yeah.
I had a naughty a person that had a master wrench, and they went and fucking hit a bunch of people. That's why all the wrenches are gone.
I had to do that to my channel.
I had a whole list of people that were fucking hidden. I had to go unblock yesterday. I just got rid of all the wrenches.
What's up, Nance?
Yeah. That
Sorry, I
happened to me.
haven't.
I had like one bad mod when I first joined out of like seven, and I had to get rid of all of them and figure out like who.
Oh, what's up,
Well,
Mickey?
I know
I'm
who it
just looking
was,
at
and
chat.
but I ended up just for now. I just don't. I don't really need a mod. Everybody that's in here probably already dubs each other or really not into doing that type of shit anyway. They're not fucking. They're in here to bullshit and stuff. So they're not worried about building a channel or fucking doing all that crazy. So I mean, I don't need a mod.
I don't either. I have like two now. I run panels, but I haven't been doing it as much because I've been anxious. But I'm back on the medicine, so I've been starting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just freestyle or like I did a little worship session this morning. I streamed a live church. Just kind of feel heart energy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
Felt good. Got a little couple tears out. Felt good.
Yeah. That makes you feel better.
Yeah, I like tapping in, meditating, and feeling everything, whatever I need to at least. I think I'm gonna head off though and play some Call of Duty. Thank you guys. Fucking love you guys.
Hey, heck yeah. Thanks for popping up, buddy.
Yeah, great conversation. I really do appreciate it. Super cool. Chat, love you guys. I'll see you guys in the future. I need to sub actually before I forget, but I will see you guys again.
Peace.
All right, buddy. Have a good day.
Will do. You too.
Yeah, I can't post links. Okay.
Actually, there is a setting that you can turn on your channel to allow people to post links that don't have mod status.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a master setting on your channel. I forget exactly where it's at, but it's
I'll
there.
have to look. I'll have to
It,
look.
it, it used to be that way that people had to have a wrench in order to post a link, but they turned on a option switch that you can let people post links if they are just regular, end losers and don't have mod.
Yeah, I don't ever turn on like subscriber mode or nothing. But I just got to where it's like, don't really
Yeah.
need mods. I don't need mods. I mean,
I've run a few channels in my day and gone through the whole like monetization and all that stuff, and it's look, if you're making your like significant income or side hustle money off of it, that's cool. But it keeps you going when you get bored of it. But like at a point too, it's just like, whatever. I don't even care to go through all that headache and have to concern myself just for a couple $100 a month.
right.
So unless you're really pushing it and making like 4 and 5 figures a month off of a channel, it doesn't even.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like who cares?
Well, even if you're only making a couple $100 a month, but you're spending all this time editing videos, you're right. It's just, I mean, you got to start figuring out how much is your time worth. Like, is that
Well,
two
I
hundred
did
dollars
do
a
that
month? Just
actually.
to,
Yeah, I did do
you
that
know,
actually. I ended up running a dozen or whatever videos and ended up making like AdSense. I got my 1,000 subs and my 4,000 watch hours and got monetized and was making like $300 a month off of the videos that I did. And I'm like, all that work that I put in for $300, it's like, shit, I can just work more and make more than that.
just work an extra few, work another half a day or something.
Right. Instead of spending, 3 hours going through and crafting a, scripted thing and making visuals and putting together edits and transitions and
Yep. Yep.
having to go, you know, set up my vocal cushions in my room in my office so that it didn't have reverb and
Yep.
post processing the voice and all that other crap. It's just like, who cares? It's not worth it. If you're just doing run and gun, like, hey, look, I just turned on my phone, and people
Right.
are into that, like, daily vlog thing, like a Casey Neistat kind of shit, then that's a different
Hmm.
story. But if you're doing, like, polished, produced content that you're trying to, like people have left comments like, oh my god, that's the best explanation. I've watched 10 videos, and you said it in, like, 10 minutes on one video, and, you rock.
Yep.
It's like,
Makes you feel good, but
it's like,
it
great, but that
doesn't pay
video
the
took
bills.
me 4 hours to make, right?
Right.
So,
And I made 32 cents. Like,
well, I made more than that, but still, like, to
well,
make
yeah,
a
yeah, but yeah,
to make a 10 or 12 minute video that took 4 hours to produce,
mhm, right,
what are you getting out of it in the end? So,
yeah,
and then you gotta keep showing up repeated on a regular schedule. Some days you don't feel like it, but you gotta keep pushing anyway because that's what the audience demands and
and
expects
that's
that
what
you're
the
doing.
algorithm is, right? Once it gets used to you going and being consistent at a consistent time and place and everything like that, if you
Yep,
drop off for a couple days, you will drop quick.
exactly. You lose your juice.
You'll lose all your momentum. You got to start completely over again.
Yep,
Because once people see what they call you're not reliable, even though you're there every day, you might skip one day. As soon as to them you're unreliable, then you're just hit and miss. They might hit you, they might not even look because last time they looked, you weren't on.
right.
So now they're not even looking to see if you're on. And it happens quick.
Uh huh. People also with how things are nowadays. Honestly, I think that's the exact same reason why movies suck anymore and that people don't really produce any good ones anymore. It's because, like, back in the classic era of, like, great movies during, like, the 70s, 80s, and even before that, like, they were shooting 35 millimeter film. Every time you hit that record button, you're taking up expensive film stock, right?
Yeah, it took, I mean, you had to be on your shit. Yeah,
Exactly. There was no, oh, I don't like that scene. Let's just hit delete on the memory card and reshoot. You suck.
that was weird.
That was weird. So yeah, they had to think through it multiple times and like craft it properly in order to make it happen. And so now it's just like run and gun, fast. It's about volume instead of quality, right? Oh shit! Settings, audio. Yeah, sorry about that. My screensaver turned on and killed my Bluetooth headset.
Well, it starts like you gotta start like it's efficiency with everything you do, right? Once you get good at something, you gotta be able to figure out how to do it the best still that you can do, but doing it efficient, like doing it in a way that is gonna save you time and money. I mean, like,
Yeah, and it does get easier over time because you build a workflow and then you just keep that repeated pattern, right?
right. You build like different little models and stuff, different little things that you can use to make shit go quicker. Right. But I mean, it still takes a lot of time to build up.
Yep.
Right. And then you don't really like you do all that stuff, upload it on YouTube. As soon as you upload it on YouTube, you no longer own it. It's no longer just your property. Now YouTube can take it and use it for whatever they want.
Oh well, they're still doing that regardless. Yeah. Anyway, like I stopped uploading to one of the monetized channels that I had, and after a while, they're like, "Yeah, we're just not going to pay you anymore for the AdSense because you haven't uploaded any new content in a while." But they still stick ads on my videos on that channel.
Even though people still watch those old videos and they still make money off the AdSense part. Right.
Right. But they're just not cutting me in on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you never own it once it's.
Yeah, once you post it up online, it's the world's to use, right? I mean, I could take it down if I wanted to, but like, why? Well, I don't care.
Yeah. Like, you get to a point where you're just like, yeah. Okay.
It's been out there for a couple of years, anyways. What is it going to do for me to like take it down? But it's greenfield content, so people still come by and say, "Oh, that's a great video. Thank you. I appreciate that you pointed that out."
Yeah, that's well, and that's the thing too, right? You put all this work into your YouTube channel, and at any point, if somebody reports you or they feel that you're not doing something up to their standard, they just take your shit down.
Yep.
Gone. Like,
You
and
know,
then you
like you
have to
said,
try to
you don't
fight to
own
get
it.
it back.
Yep.
So it's like, if you're going to do all that, you might as well build a website. Send everybody to your website.
And then put it behind a paywall so people actually
Put it
appreciate
behind
it.
a paywall. Right. So that way you get serious people that want to take it seriously and not just want to clown around
Yes.
it.
And then so what you do is you stick excerpts on it to entice people of here's what you have to look forward to if you join my platform on my website, so that they get a taste for what you're talking about, but they don't get the real juice out of the squeeze.
Yeah, I'm going to show you my cleavage. And if you
Yeah.
want to see the rest, you got to come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a very good analogy.
Well, 'cause that's what most people do when they see cleavage, they click on it.
Uh-huh. And then it ends up being where that person that was in the thumbnail doesn't exist on anywhere except for frame one of the video.
And as long as you run it legitly, I mean, people will get good fucking value for their money. They'll get the best value for their money.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you're trying to dupe people, all it takes is one person in the comments to go, yeah, TLDR, you just wasted 10 minutes of my time. But make no bones about it, you definitely can make a living off of it if you choose to go that route. It's just, it's a career by itself. Even if a part-time one, but nonetheless, it's still a,
It's
side
still
hustle
gone. Like,
career.
yeah, it's taking your time. Right? Most important thing you have in your life is time because you never get it back. So I mean, you got to try to utilize it to. And if you're doing the best you can with your time, and it's just not on whatever you're doing, and it's not cutting the mustard, it ain't paying for itself, or it ain't, it's, you might as well be doing nothing.
Well, coming to that realization is the same thing that makes you not want to go work for somebody else.
Yeah, it really is.
Because at that point, you're somebody else's leverage, and they're paying you a fraction of what it's worth for making their dreams come true, as opposed to taking that time and applying it to your dreams coming true and employing other people's leverage.
Or you just sit there and work your ass off and watch them get better shit, just do better in life while you're living paycheck to paycheck. Like going, damn, I can't get a raise, but that motherfucker just bought a new car. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
you've seen that
You
meme
know?
where the worker walks up in the parking lot to the owner and says, "Wow, nice new Lamborghini," and the owner says, "Yeah, and if one day you work your butt off for like the next year or two, you can get to the point where I'll be able to afford another one." He switched up on him because he thought like one day you're gonna get there. It's like, no, if you really bust your ass, you'll
No,
be able
no.
to buy another one in a couple of years.
You work a little bit harder, I'll have two.
Right.
That's fucked up. Because I'm sure everybody's had that boss that you tried to get a raise from, and they're like, nah, I just can't afford it right now. And then you turn around and you watch them fucking buy something big. And you're like,
Yeah, and then they roll up with 30-day tags on a brand new shiny car, regardless of what it is.
yeah. And you're like,
You could
wait, what the fuck?
you can't even afford to give me a freaking cost of living increase to offset inflation, but yet you just bought a new car.
Right.
Yeah. Fuck you very much.
And then they wonder why the good workers just go fuck themselves. Tell them to go fuck themselves and leave.
Well, the delusion business owners are the ones that think that they can force employees to care as much of their business as they do. It's like they don't have skin in the game. You haven't given them enough proper incentive to care that much.
Yeah, I don't. Right. Right.
If you want them to care about your monthly revenue numbers, give them a profit sharing or a piece of the company with shares or something like. Make them have
Yeah.
put give them some skin in the game. They'll care.
They'll make sure shit's happening. But outside of doing just their normal fucking job, what I see nowadays, like the employers will find the good workers. I have no problem with working. They'll come in whenever they do, and they just turn around and take advantage of that person and let the other employees just do whatever. As long as it's like crazy, like as long as somebody's here to fill that spot on the
Uh huh.
clock, then okay, we're good. Like,
Yeah.
well, what about them doing their job? Well, somebody's here at least. And it's like, whoa, when did we get to that standard? That is crazy. Like, yeah, they're not the
Well, the
best worker, but they show up every day. And it's like, well, so you're only paying them half the money then, right? Because they're only doing half of what there's like, oh no, like that doesn't make any sense.
so let me get this right. They come in at 6 and leave at 3, but I get in at like 9 and leave at like 7 o'clock at night. But at the same time, because they're here early, you view their non-contributing, walk around, get coffee, go take a
Yeah, yeah,
half-hour dump, read the paper, talk to somebody in their cube for a half hour. That level of productivity versus the minute I hit the freaking door and get settled, I'm cranking out work product.
right, right. The ones that have to walk in, now I gotta fucking go put my coat away. I gotta go take a dump. I gotta go out smoke a cigarette. I got, you know, all doing that after I just clocked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. That's how that goes.
I actually had a boss one time many years ago was like, that basically, and he wasn't a smoker, and he was like, "Yeah, well, I mean, you probably spent what an hour today outside smoking, so yeah, we'll call it even." I'm like, "Do you even understand? Like, I was actually talking to another person, and we came up with a solution to the problem you've been trying to solve for a week in a 15-minute smoke break." Like, you don't account for that. You think I'm just fucking off wasting time smoking cigarettes. But it's perception. It has nothing to do with reality. It's just all perception.
Well, and
That's
some
it.
of that is like that's easily doable. Like, hey, most places you have to take the garbage out at some point. You know, a lot
Yeah.
of places, you got to go outside and do this or that. The people that go outside to do all the this or that jobs are the people that smoke. Because when you go outside to do this or that, you can go ahead and have a cigarette at the same time. Like,
Yep.
I mean, it's really easy. I mean, there's solutions to certain things. The guys don't clean the women's bathroom, so the people that smoke can do the outside shit. So that way they can take their time to have their cigarettes. Like, um,
But getting back to the original point is that whole reason of why not to go work for somebody else if you have actually like value your time, because you can only have 100% of your own effort, and if you're somebody else's employee, you're selling 100% of your effort to them for a cheap price. As opposed to if you own a business and you hire other people, you're able to leverage those other people and you get a multiple on the return, right? So if you're paying them a quarter of what the output that they're making or whatever, or
yeah,
20% or whatever the hell it is, right?
yeah.
Then you're actually scaling a system. I mean,
I
think
mean,
about it, right?
you're the
And
one driving the Lamborghini.
exactly, because every business owner looks at an employee and goes, okay, what can I do? Like, where's my revenue with them? Where's it going to be without them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And generally speaking, unless you're making at least a 10x return on that employee, you're not going to hire them.
Right? Because there's too much other shit. You know, you got to pay LI, you got to pay this. The employee thinks, well, I'm just getting paid this much, and it's like, yeah, but I'm paying all this other shit just to have you here. Like, so
Hmm.
if I have to pay all this shit to have you here, and you're not returning the investment, then I don't need you. I'll figure out how to do it myself.
Right, I'm having to pay your salary, part of your health insurance coverage, an
Uh-huh.
extra 7.5% that you're not seeing on Social Security contributions, all that other stuff. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I know employees are getting hammered for 30% of their check, but that's the
that's why you do it
IRS and the
yourself.
state. That's not, but it's still a cost to the business.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, you're either somebody else's leverage or you hire other people to be your leverage. That's how this capitalist system works. So,
well, some
and it,
people are okay, and they're happy with just working for somebody, and not having to deal with all the other shit that goes along with owning a business. If
right,
you're okay with that, then yeah, cool, do that. Yeah,
yeah, not everyone's cut out to be a business owner for sure.
yeah,
They just want to go to work, do their thing that they're told to do, clock in, clock out, and go home and not have to worry about it. And for those people, those are called leverage.
yeah.
But for the people that aspire to have more and maximize their time on this planet and get what they're worth, then you have to be a business owner.
Management can be a pain in the butt, but if you can build a good, solid team, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, you brought up a good point too that like so many business owners end up allowing the non-performers to slide,
Yeah.
which brings down the morale of the people that are kicking ass
hmm hmm
because they see, well, shit, I can get paid the exact same as this fuck stick
Well, it's like
and get
they're like, oh, well, we got so and so, they'll pick up the slack, so it's not a big deal that as long as they're here every day,
yeah.
like
Or
that's
the
a
one that
shitty way.
or the one that happens recently is if they have a team of like 10 people that are on the group or payroll or work for somebody, right? and they're like, yeah, I got to cut costs, so I got to let 4 of these people go. So they'll take those 4 people's job output, split it amongst the remaining 6,
Yep.
expect them to work overtime for free on salary
Yep.
to take up the slack of those other 4 people, and now they only have to pay for 6 people.
Yep.
But yet now the employees are pissed because they're being expected to, do more than what their job originally was. And the
That's
people
right.
that are really good at their job are now getting even more responsibility on top of what they were already doing because they got to keep their job, but they're also the ones that were doing all the work, and those other 4 that got cut were the ones that weren't doing shit anyway.
Right. So they were already fucking. I mean, but they don't give you like part of that money that they're saving from that person. They don't say
Exactly.
you're going to do a little more work because we're not bringing these people back, but we're going to give you half the pay. Like we're going to give you a raise of half the money that they weren't really
Right.
working anyway. Like
Exactly. If they were being honest about it, they'd be like, all right, we just chopped 4 salaries off, right? We'll pocket 2 of them and we'll split the other 2 amongst you remaining 6 people. So each of you are getting a 30% bump on your check. But I got to
right,
distribute the load across the 6 of you from what those other 4 people were doing.
it kind of happened at my wife's work. It was only 2 people. Like they had 2 people quit, and then they were like, "Well, things are going all right. We're just not going to bring anybody else in right now. We'll just
Yeah.
do it the way we're doing it." So everybody had to work an extra day.
Yep.
Like,
It is funny that imbalance though. Like if you work at a job and you want to quit, you're supposed to give them 2 weeks heads up so they can have time to like put an advertisement out for a new person
right.
to backfill you and all that stuff. But if they dump you, they're doing it on a Friday morning and being like, "Yeah, don't show up Monday. You're gone. That's it. Thanks."
Yeah, it's funny how employers work nowadays.
Yeah, they
One
don't
of
play
the
by the
things that
same rules.
people get away with nowadays. Like I remember when I was younger, my younger days of starting to work, when you're like 16, 17, you're getting real jobs or you're getting real checks. You couldn't fuck around, man. You did something stupid, you were getting fired. They'll bring
Mhm.
somebody else in.
Yep.
Nowadays, it's like, oof, yeah, we can't fire them because again, who's going to work? Like, they don't work anyway. Like, yeah, but they're here. They show up. It's like, oh
Right.
my god, like it's crazy.
And I don't know if you've noticed or not, but like the level of customer service ever since you didn't have to be tied to a proper phone line, as soon as they turned on like these voice over IP systems and you can be anywhere answering a phone.
Yeah,
So now you end up having like call centers in these different countries that have thick accents, have a
I
hard
did
time
that.
with English.
I called
Like,
AT&T. No, it was Amazon. I called Amazon once and I scheduled for the phone back or whatnot. I was talking to the lady and I'm like, well, can't you just look in the computer? She's like, no, to be honest with you, I'm just, I'm at my home and I
right,
just answer calls. And I'm like, so what the fuck are you calling me if you can't help me? Or you can't get in and really access anything in a computer and look at shit. Then what the fuck are you doing talking to me?
right.
Like,
Why answer the phone then if you're ineffectual and can't do shit?
it's like an auto fire. They just throw those people in to fill the spot.
Exactly. To say that they have somebody answering the phones 24 hours a day.
Right, right, right.
Uh huh. They're not really actually doing anything, but they answer the phone. And then when you're like, well, can you transfer me to somebody that actually can do something? They're like,
No,
no,
I
I have
can't.
to
I
submit a
don't have.
trouble ticket, and then they'll get back to you when they feel like it within the next
Yeah,
5 to 7 business days. It's like, when did that become the standard? And that's why a lot of people are just like, they have such short attention spans and tolerance for BS now. It's that, like, nobody wants to play this, like, press one, press two, all that crap and go through all those menus. That if I'm paying you money, I want you to answer the damn phone, answer my question, and let me get on with my day. You know what I mean?
Hello, how can I help you today? My name is Bob. What? Bob? Like, what? I can't understand what you're saying. Is there somebody else I can talk to? Nope. What? Call back, reschedule call. Like, what? I gotta do this all over again? Like, what the
Well, the one that kills
fuck?
me is when they say they can't help you and they're like left powerless, and then you're like, okay, well, I guess we're done here, and they're like, is there anything else I can do for you today? And I'm like, else? You didn't do one thing. What do you mean else?
Yeah, I don't.
Like, you had one job and you couldn't do it. What do you want me to? Like, you're asking me a fucking rhetorical question. Do you? Oh, is there anything else I can do today? Well, I don't know. Can you?
Yeah,
You tell
you
me.
just told me. You just told me you couldn't help me. So what else are you gonna do for me?
Exactly.
So what the fuck? You can't even transfer me to somebody like you don't even know who your supervisor is. You just got a text message saying that you needed to call me and try to work out my problem. Like what the fuck? Like
And the funny part is when you call into a company that you used to work at, and you get a hold of the tier one, just answered the phone, and they have to go through that whole escalation. Let me transfer you to somebody that knows what they're doing, kind of thing, and it goes up the ladder and it gets
oh
smaller
my
and
god.
smaller, the number of people that know actually what they're doing and have some power. And so I used to do like tier four support, right? And so I'd get the tier one phone people that are just running off of a script. I'm like, yeah, can you just skip all that and transfer me to tier four? They're like,
Yeah,
no, we can't do that. We have to go to two, and then two has to go to three. And I'm like, look, I'm a X tier four support tech. I just need to talk to somebody there that can speak my language, get this shit done, stop wasting my time.
I hate it when they fucking like the last time it was my what was it? It was something to do. No, it was the internet because after the fucking tornado and the fucking my phone, it was AT&T. I was talking to the guy and he's like, "Yeah, I'm looking at your tower right now." The tech support guy, I'm looking at your tower right now. Yeah, it is showing that it's damaged and that they are working on it. And then the phone fucking gets disconnected.
Yeah.
So I call back, get another tech person. It's not the same guy. And I'm telling him what the other tech guy, and he's telling me, no, we wouldn't be telling you if the towers are working or not. And I'm like, no, he was. He just said he went to the map in my area and zoomed out a little bit and found the tower. And he was going, no, he wouldn't have told you that. And I'm like, yeah, he did. I was getting so fucking pissed.
Yep.
Like, yeah, he did. Like, go in there to the map, and if you zoom out, you can see it. And then eventually he did it. He's like, "Oh yeah, okay, I see what you're talking about." I'm like, "Yeah, but you told me that you couldn't fucking do that." Like, I was so fucking pissed. Like,
And I've
so it's
actually
not
had to
even
go
a
through and tell them how to fix what I asked them to do. Also, I'm like, okay, click here. Now go to this button. Click that. They're like, how do you know this stuff? I'm like, I told you, I used to be tier four support. What are you talking about? How do I know it?
That's why I wanted to talk to you so I could explain to you how to do your fucking job and get shit rolling. No, I
It's
don't.
nuts.
You know, Dad, I don't really care how somebody grows their plant. I don't care if it looks like the way I want it to. I just want them to be honest with the numbers and shit. If you're gonna throw out numbers about harvests or this or that, just give the real number. So that way the new growers aren't fucked up. Like they're trying to do it in a certain amount of days that you're claiming that they can't, and so they think they're a failure. And when realistically, they were never given the real number to start with. I don't care. If I can grow all boof, but when I don't tell me when you're growing all boof that you're getting fucking pounds.
Yeah.
Or try
When I'm on
teaching people that. I don't care. Man. Grow it however you want. honest with the numbers. I know you're gonna say, "What do you care if they're lying about the number or not?" Well, because I want new growers to be able to grow their own medicine or whatever they want to call it, and be able to do it right from the start and not waste a lot of time and money.
Yep. Well, Chop, thanks for having me up. I'm gonna go make something
Oh,
of
yeah.
this day.
I'm gonna probably
So
get off here too. So it's been 3.5 hours. Sunday,
appreciate you
Sunday.
having me up.
Hell yeah, buddy. Anytime.
Have a good
Cheers,
one, Chop.
chat. Have a great day, chat. Talk to y'all later. And
Peace,
peace.
peace out.